into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Hey.
Boom. There it is. Bam. Poo. Click it even. Bam.
Good morning, South Africa. Welcome to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live on SABC3 on a Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Hey, Katabi. So good to see you so early in the morning.
Thank you very much. Good to see everybody any morning.
See the shade extend.
Boom.
Early in the morning. So good to have you guys here. Most importantly, very good morning from myself. I am Graham Richards.
I'm Jamie Lee Domber.
And I'm Tabiso Mokubela, otherwise Uncle Tabsy to you. It's a Travel Tuesday. We take a trip to Kenya today, guys, by catching up with international travel blogger, one of the funniest people you're going to see on the internet. It's Wangchi Ketai. And of course, we meet the talented Kenyan female photographer, Minnie Chaps, who we had a chat with.
She's like this big, Minnie Chaps. She's always like tiny.
Always so tiny. Interesting. Mm.
And she pops up in the most amazing, wonderful scenarios, so can't wait to get some background there.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get creative in the kitchen by making a Kenyan-inspired chicken stew. Hearty breakfast just for you.
Rich.
And of course, we are not alone in our efforts this morning. I've seen two beautiful people sit down, ready to start their day with some refreshments and connect with you guys on our social media platforms. Morning, gang.
Yes.
Shout outs to you, teammate. Good morning to you, South Africa. Kamalam Guguhle Adams, clocking in for duty this Tuesday morning.
Yes, and I'm Raul Demone. Thank you for joining us as we Tuesday, and it's choosing you, of course, Mzansi. And thank you for joining us this morning as we kick off another magic episode. And we're talking all things South Africa, all things local, all things Africa, of course. And the question this morning that we're asking you, Mzansi, is what makes you proudly South African? Kukle, I've got to ask you, being a beautiful, inspiring, eccentric South African, what makes you so proud?
Thank you so much. No, I'm kidding. There are so many reasons why I am proud to be South African. I think starting off with the fact that we have 11 official languages, the fact that we're able to communicate with each other in different languages and understand, or at least try to understand, the majority of what we're saying. I just think that's the coolest thing, and obviously the food that we have.
We truly are. We're blessed with food, blessed with culture, blessed with absolute beauty, but there's so many options that you guys can come through this morning, of course. But let us know on our social media channels and use that hashtag Expresso Show and tell us what makes you a proud South African. Of course, before we get into that magic, of course, we're going to find out what's happening in and around the world in the latest updates with the news. Let's check it out.
Certainly so much to be proud of when it comes to being South African, but right now, time for us to take a look at those news headlines, starting off here at home, with communities in Hazy View and surrounding areas in Mpumalanga fearing for their safety after a large number of crocodiles escaped from a farm enclosure of which the fencing gave way due to persistent rain. Some 160 crocodiles slithered off, but 50 have since been recaptured. It's suspected the reptiles are in the vicinity of rivers and dams at White River and Hazy View. Meanwhile, 51 crocodiles have been recaptured after escaping from a Bonnievale farm in the Western Cape, but an unknown number are still on the loose. Higher Education Minister Blade Nzimande says the registration process for all first-year students at public higher education institutions has been extended to at least the end of next week. It was also agreed that the registration of returning National Student Financial Aid Scheme beneficiaries who are still awaiting confirmation of funding would not be affected. However, the minister admitted that there was a shortage of funding this year. In international news, Niger's President Muhammadu Issoufou has been announced the 2020 winner of the $5 million Ibrahim Prize for African Leadership. Issoufou has served 2 5-year terms as president between 2011 and 2020 and is set to be succeeded by former Interior Minister Mohamed Bazoum, who won the presidential election last month. The prize committee commended Issoufou's leadership after he had inherited one of the world's poorest economies. It said he fostered economic growth, showed unwavering commitment to regional stability and to the Constitution, and championed African democracy. Many people are feared dead after a fire at the migrant detention center in Yemen's capital, Sana'a. The International Organization for Migration confirmed 8 deaths, but officials at a UN agency said as many as 30 may have been killed. It's not known what caused the blaze at the facility, which was holding hundreds of mostly Ethiopian migrants. But an airstrike by a Saudi-led coalition fighting the rebel Houthi movement damaged buildings nearby. The Houthis have launched drones and ballistic missiles at cities and oil installations in Saudi Arabia. And now, news of women who serve on the front line against poachers. The 8 handicapped members of the all-female game ranger team, known as the Team Lioness, are transforming the legacies of women and wildlife in Kenya and are buoyed by the progress that they are making for girls and women in the country. They serve on the front line against poachers in the traditional Maasai land surrounding the Amboseli National Park in Kenya. In Maasai culture, women do not traditionally hold jobs, and these 8 rangers are true trailblazers, being the first women in their families to secure employment. And of course, the International Fund for Animal Welfare, that's the IFAW, was called on to fund an all-women team of rangers who represent their respective tribes. Maasai women hold much local conservation knowledge, and the training they receive from the IFAW is specifically geared towards safeguarding the natural world. At the same time, however, they're also risking their lives, and each day holds the possibility of death, especially as poachers have become increasingly desperate due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has drastically cut their income, I suppose the income of parks as well, leaving surrounding communities impoverished. Last year, 138 rangers died in the line of duty around the world. That's where we leave it for now. Let's see what's happening in the world of sports. Here's Graham.
Well, we were treated to some unbelievable cricket yesterday. Kyle Verreynne hitting a very impressive double century to guide the Cape Cobras to a massive 513 for 6. That was on the second day of their CSA 4-day domestic series against the Warriors, playing out at Newlands. The Warriors now trail the Cobras by 481 runs with 9 wickets still in hand. In other fixtures, the Knights, they lead the Titans by 44 runs with 4 wickets remaining, and the Lions trail the Dolphins by 101 runs with 3 wickets still in the bag. Day 3 action will continue from 10 a.m. today. Rugby on the cards as well, as local rugby returns today with 2 second-round kickoff 2021 games. The Griquas welcome the Stormers to Tafelberg Stadium in Kimberley. That's at 4:45 this afternoon. Michael Hasner returning to Kimberley on loan from the Stormers. The Cape Town franchise then have made 2 changes to their team that narrowly lost out to the Cheetahs in their new stadium in Cape Town. So Jill Peterson, he replaces the injured Tristan Lates, and Sitle Njazula, he'll start ahead of Edward van der Merwe. The second fixture will see the Pumas up against the Bulls. That's at 7 p.m. Springbok loose forward Nizam Kar will lead the Bulls, who made no changes to their starting 15. That absolutely demolished the Elephants in Pretoria over the weekend. Then on to football. A Ben Godfrey own goal and a Jorginho penalty sealing a 2-0 win for Chelsea against Everton at Stamford Bridge last night in the only English Premier League fixture. With only 10 league games left in the run-up to the end of the season, Thomas Tuchel's side remain in 4th place on the log, still unbeaten in fact under his reign. Now 4 points clear of 5th place to Everton. The English Premier League action will continue tomorrow evening with a full roster. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take a look at the weather.
Let's get into the first look at what the skies have in store for us, South Africa. But before we do that, we love starting off the day with your sunrise pictures. This morning, we start off with Material Tladi from Vanderbilt Park, who shared this partly sunny start to their morning. You can expect a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius in your area today. Deborah sent through this golden picturesque image of Muizenberg. Today's maximum is forecast to only hit 20 degrees Celsius. Now, thank you to each and every one of you that takes the time to share your sunrise pictures with us. If you would like to be featured, it's very simple. Just head over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your photo and location with us. We will show it live on the show. Now, we can't forget to include our international audience who tune in via YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. So if you are, or rather, so we are giving a brief update on the weather in Austin, Texas this morning. Austin is located within the middle of a unique, narrow transitional zone between the dry deserts of the American Southwest and the lush, green, more humid regions of the American Southeast. Its climate, topography, and vegetation share characteristics of both. Today is set to be a partly cloudy day, quite breezy with a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. We bring it back down south in Cape Town. Cape Town is expected to record its first proper rainfall of the year when a cold front hits tomorrow. The South African Weather Service has warned that the rain tomorrow may cause localized flooding of roads and informal settlements. The cold front will make landfall tonight, resulting in rainfall over the western parts that will spread along the south coast during tomorrow night. Ahead of the cold front, strong northwesterly winds are expected along the coastal strip, reaching 45 to 60 kilometers an hour. All city services and external agencies will be on standby to deal with the predicted adverse weather conditions. The bulk of the rain expected will be confined to the western parts, with falls of 20 to 40 millimeters and 50 millimeters over the mountainous regions. Now, here are your temperatures, South Africa. If you find yourself at Polokwane, partly cloudy conditions are expected this Tuesday with a low of 19, reaching a high of 31 degrees. Mbombela, also partly cloudy, reaching a maximum of 34 degrees. A mostly sunny day in Pretoria, your high is 31 degrees. And Jozi Maboneng also enjoying a perfect summer's day with a high of 29 degrees. Mahikeng, you kick off the morning with a minimum of 17, reaching a maximum of 31. Klerksdorp, your temperatures range from 15 to 31 degrees. Kimberley, you peak at 34 from a low of 13 degrees. And Bloemfontein, it's a cool 9 degrees, but will reach an afternoon high of 31 degrees. Richards Bay also in the 30s, peaking at 32. It's actually going to be a cold one at Richards Bay, starting off the morning with a low of 26 degrees rather. Grey conditions are forecast in Pietermaritzburg. It's a cloudy day, 1931. South Africa's Playground Durban, what's happening? Cloudy for you, 22 is your low, reaching a high of 27. We're moving down to the Eastern Cape, Skylimtad, Molweni, 1428, East London, 1824, Cradock, 1333, Amanbasa can expect a low of 17, reaching a high of 24 degrees. It's a mostly cloudy day in George, 24 is your maximum. Cape Town, now you can expect rain with 56% chance of rain forecast. Worcester, 1624. Sutherland, you kick off the morning with a minimum of 10, reaching a high of 21, and Uppington with a high of 31 degrees. This was the first look at your stunning photos and the first look at the weather forecast for the day. We'll have another one shortly after the top of the hour. But remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Oh, and it's definitely going to be a feel-good kind of day. It is Travel Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, but it's also all about choosing day today. And today, when it comes to athleisure, I struggle to find things that is comfortable or something I can travel and work in. But of course, Woolies came through with varieties where it is not just durable, but it's all about looking good and also just so comfortable for you, have a good stretch in. So we have these options available for us today. I know you live in your athleisure wear. Yeah. They didn't sort you out yet. They're sorting me out today. So, of course, you at home are going to help me choose today for this Tuesday.
I'm actually, I've got to say, the other reason why I'm here, Jamie, and if Mzansi doesn't know, I am somewhat created the athleisure look back in my day.
Okay.
I never had time to prepare for a meeting and get changed into something else. So whatever I was wearing in the day and I was training in, that was the look for the day, and I had to go with it. So that later on evolved into what they call athleisure in today as well. So this is why I'm here to assist you in your athleisure look today.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence in the W Beauty Room
pleasure.
today.
My time is scarce, but I will do this for you.
To give us your expertise.
Yes.
So these two looks. Let's start with the option number one. So this has a nice little camo racerback sports top at the bottom. That's paired with a nice little black leggings over there. We're going to pop over a grey hoodie. It's more of a performance look. So again, looks fit, looks like you can run into the office straight from the gym. That is the option that we have over there. We also paired it with a nice little pendant over there. Really just elevating the look. We're going back to the 90s with this retro style. Looks like I'm about to step out into a festival. So a bit of a 90s crew neck top. We have some joggers that we paired that with it. And again, just elevating it with a nice statement piece. So before I ask you guys at home to head on over to our social media pages, what look would you like to see me in today?
I see the pros and the cons of both, right? So I love the fact that we've got a bit of a more serious approach to this first look, right? We've got the neutral palettes, we've got the grays, the blacks, etc. So that for me allows you to get that serious mode switched on straight after workout. This looks like a year for business. Other side of a year though, either two options. You're feeling blue one day and you're looking for a little bit of a kick, your outfit can take you there. And that's something I love about our look. And then number two, the fact that it's just wild, it's vibrant, it's fun. It's a lot more of a lighter piece to me. So depending on the day, this is gonna be a tricky one. Mzansi, you guys have a challenge on your hands, but let's make Jamie look exactly how she needs to tackle this beautiful Tuesday, of course.
Oh, you already know what you're talking about. Listen, he gave you all his expertise, but ultimately it's up to you. So head on over to our social media, Expresso Facebook page, to let me know which outfit I should choose for this Tuesday. And of course, if you wanna shop any of these looks, you can do that in-store, online, or on the Woolworths app.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. We're live, easing you into that Tuesday morning. Now, this next artist, born into a musical family, Lauren Lee, who hails all the way out of Easter River in the Western Cape. She started singing at the age of 12, and Lauren studied music at the Cape Music Institute and sang for 3 gospel bands and the Woman to Woman group. She's done such an incredible job over the years. Her soulful music has brought joy to radio audiences from South Africa to the United Kingdom and New Zealand, all over the place, over here, over there, and everywhere. And we catch up with the performing artist before she takes to our Expresso stage to cover a few chart-topping hits. Lauren Lee, good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, so good to see you.
Good to be here.
Is it weird that it feels like we saw you just yesterday, but it also feels like we saw you a lifetime ago? So
Yes.
much has happened. How have you been during these crazy times, and you welcomed a beautiful little one into the world as well? That's despite everything that's gone on, you have kept pushing as an artist. How have you survived these insane COVID times?
Sure. First of all, I'm just grateful that I'm still alive and well. That's most importantly.
Tick that box, yeah.
So surviving this time is, like I said off camera, that we just had to stay positive and know that we will come out okay. And as an artist, it was difficult, and I think it still is.
Yeah.
I probably just had 2 gigs for the year last year.
Wow.
And I was fortunate enough to be signed with Tongue Twisters, which was great, as a voice-over company. And then I had a show in November, and I was like, it was so nice to be on stage after so many months. You know, the thrill that it gave me again, just to be on stage and have an actual audience, you know, applaud you.
Yes, yes. And not just see the lights.
Yes, and enjoy what you are doing and what you've rehearsed. I just missed everything, even putting on makeup,
so
getting dressed. Yeah, I really do.
Because it's something that you love, and it really does bring you alive, right? It makes you really shine in that moment.
Yes.
I know that you're going to be performing, and I'm giving this away now, that Lauren Lee is going to be performing one of Snow Allegra's songs. Whoa.
Yes.
I know that Snow Allegra is inspired by, you know, people like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. These are big, big artists.
Yes.
And
Big
you're
voices,
stepping in the big voices too.
Yes.
Who are some of your inspirations?
Like, I like soulful music, so it's definitely Jill Scott. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And then Erykah Badu.
Oh.
And of late, Snow Allegra.
Ah.
That woman.
I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed.
Well, you're going to get a little taste of that this morning. So, hold on to your britches. It's going to be some amazing performances. Just the sound check's already got us in the groove this morning. I love it. What's headed this year? I know we haven't quite let go of all of the pressures. I think a lot of us thought that this year was going to be a completely new and fresh start, but it's been a continuation of last year. What's on the cards for 2021? How far ahead can you look as an artist now? What are the plans?
Definitely more studio time. I'm definitely bringing out new music.
Great.
And I just want you guys to invite me back so that I can perform it again.
Yes, well, and we will.
Every month.
And we will. And what's the sound that we're playing with in studio this year? What sounds can we expect out of Lauren Lee?
Definitely, I'm still going to keep the soul going.
Yeah.
I feel that that is my vibe, and that is what I'm good at. So I think I'm gonna stick to that.
What about your little one's name?
His name is Luca.
Luca.
Yes.
We've got another very special Luca in the mix. Congratulations on that journey
Thank you.
as well. Navigating lockdown with an 18-month-old baby. It's a very different story. I can certainly relate, but so good to see you happy and healthy and, as you said, positive.
Yes.
So we are wishing you nothing but the best, and we are
Thank you.
so happy that we've got you here performing. We have got a lot more to come with singer and songwriter and all-round amazing human being, Lauren Lee, and her amazing band, who are sounding incredible this morning after this. So stick around.
We already love connecting with Lauren this morning, but we're also connecting you on our social media platforms because we asked you, which look should I go for today for athleisure? And of course, you guys came through with all of your comments. But let's check them out before we choose and we reveal which the lucky one is.
Yeah, let's see what Zanzi has to say. But I've got to see a few have come in already, and it hasn't been even like 5 minutes. So Korsana Peterson says, the tie-dye top and pink jogger, he's feeling like an absolute vibe this morning. I see Natasha saying the same thing, tie-dye top and jogger. And then lastly, Linda Johnson Kika says, tie-dye top and pink jogger. Jamie, I think it's looking a little bit unanimous, but obviously we've got to wait till the votes to see who the winner is.
Well, the votes are in. I just heard the director say in my ear, the pink jogger.
Of course.
And the tie-dye top is one. I know you really hyped it up. It's really a vibe. I think I'm going to be super comfortable for the rest of the show. So while I change and get into my look for number 2, thank you so much, Mzanzi, for helping me choose my Tuesday look. And we also have an amazing workout coming your way, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a moment.
Yes, of course, we are back in the studio. We are live. It's Tuesday, and we're choosing to spend it with you with Mzansi, and we are in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, when it comes to fat-burning workouts, of course, it should not only make you sweat, but it should raise your heart rate too. Now, to make you stronger through resistance moves, and of course, boost your metabolism as you burn off all those calories. So our Turn Up Tuesday workout is an intense fat burner that can be done from the comfort of your own home. So make sure you're joining us this morning, Mzansi. Get the heart pumping, and you don't need any equipment whatsoever. Jamie, quick change. Well done.
I was going to say that quick change was a pump workout for me. I'm done.
So the warm-up is done?
I'm done.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Mzansi, you guys can join in with us, of course. Like I mentioned, you don't need any equipment whatsoever, and we're literally going to be progressing our exercises as we go. So if you want, this is a really cool movement that you can put music to. It's a 4-beat count. Everything we're doing involves 4 beats, 4 reps, 4 moves, 4 ways to burn fat. All right, guys, you guys can join us. Starting off with good compound movements, but we're going to work our way through the exercises as we go. And we've got a maximum of about 6 exercises for this one, all right? So Mzansi, join in with us now. We're starting off with the basics as we normally do. We're going into a squat. So 4 squats, nice and chilled. What we want to do with the squats, though, is make it a little bit more intense. So we're including a little bit of a jump in the squat. So as I bring those glutes back, as I'm rising back to the top, I'm jumping up, putting my feet into the center. There we go. And then the restart is spreading your feet wide again, back into the squat. Yeah, that's number 2. Nice. Number 3. There we go, perfect form. And number 4. Now what you can do, Mzansi, you can make this a bit more intense, you can make it a bit more fun, and of course stick to the timing of the beat and the music that you do have at home, right? Once we're done with the 4-beat count of that, we're going for side lunges now. So we're gonna work the hip region and the groin, right? So big lunge out to the side, going down nice and big, into the center, straight over to the other side. And that's number 2, and then we're gonna bring it over to the other side now. And you can hear the music in the background, now you can feel the vibe. Yay. And this is where you can start joining in and actually having some fun with this one, all right? So that's exercise number 2 done. Number 3 is coming at you now, and this is quite a tough one. This is a jump lunge.
I hate these to the core of my being. Oh, I struggle.
And if you hate it, that means it works well. That means it's doing its job, right? So we're starting in that lunge position, really, really nice and low, and you're going to explode up to the top, switching your legs, so the front leg goes to the back and vice versa, right? You ready for this one, Jamie? Let's go up. Use those hands, and make sure you're slowly resting down on the ground. Let's go again for number 2. 2 more on each side. That's 1. Last one coming up. And that's 2. So that's your 4th rep, 3rd exercise done. How are we feeling there, Gemini Domvik?
We're feeling things. That's all
we're feeling things. My quads are feeling it off.
Yeah.
Now we're going down and getting the rest of the body involved. Of course, the upper body's coming into play. This one's called an inchworm. Let's go down into the inchworm, all the way to the front, staying in that plank position. And now we're going to go for a commando plank, all right? So we're going down on the right elbow, then the left, then the right leg goes up in the air, then the left leg goes up in the air, and then we come straight back up into the prone position. You're doing well there.
I don't know if you're angry today, if someone made you mad, but you're not taking it out on me, Raul. It's too early.
It's Travel Tuesday. We're inspiring everybody to get out there, of course, and while they do, they're going to look good too, all right? So in this position now, Mzansi, what we're going to do is a barrel roll. What it means is we're going to get our hips to touch the side of the ground. So my left side, I'm going to let my hips touch the left side of the ground as low as you can, holding it for a second, and then straight back up. Let's move over to the other side now. Holding it like we can, and then straight back up. And now we're going straight into mountain climbers. Jamie, ready for this one?
Here we go.
The best. So up and down with both legs is 2, that's 3, and that's 4. And then we're standing straight back up. That's round 1 done. How are you feeling?
Oh, that was round 1.
Round 1 indeed.
Wow, we're really traveling today.
So those are the exercises that make up this workout. It's as simple as that. You're going for 6 rounds in total. It's going to complete your entire workout. After every single round, you want to take a 20-second to 30-second break and then straight back into the exercise. But what Jamie and I are going to do is show you exactly how to put this together with the intensity and the fun that you need to do at home too, all right? It's a 4-beat count. Jamie, you ready for this one? Starting with our squats, nice big jump, 4 reps, and then we're moving straight over to the other exercises. And Mzansi, you can join in with Jamie and I and have some fun with this one, all right?
Ready?
A cool beat coming here as well. You got that? All right, 4 squats. Let's go for 1. Let's go 1 and up, 2, up, 3, up, 4. Now side lunges. 1, nice. 2, stay with the beat. 3, lovely stuff, Mzansi. Keep moving. Now we got those jump lunges. Let's go. 1, nice, Jamie. 2, 3, 4, yeah, inchworm time. Let's go down into that inchworm, all right? We're staying in that plank. We're going right arm, right leg, left leg. And now we're going back up in the prone. We've got 2 barrel rolls coming up now. 1 to the left-hand side. Now we're going to the right-hand side. And into those mountain climbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Booyah! That is right. Well done. Shake and bake. Yeah.
I think now we need to travel to somewhere luxurious after that workout. I feel like we just need to go on vacation after that.
Yes.
Because there was no need.
Bring it on, vacation and massages after workout like that, Mzansi. You are going to feel a little bit of a burn. You're going to feel sweat. You're going to get wet, but it's going to be all for the cause, of course. Enjoy burning those curls. 6 rounds in total will do. 30 seconds break in between, and enjoy all the magic. One more round. You keen?
No.
Let's go. Come on.
I've got to admit, while Jamie was being kept very busy with like a devilish workout on that side of the studio, I opened up a lunchbox to sneak a peek because I'm feeling 100% lunchbox envy at the moment. So I'm going to now recreate what my beautiful fiance created for me last night so I can make her 100% jealous as well. Jamie, get in here. I'm sorry, I know it's very rude. I opened your lunchbox.
How dare you?
I know, it's shocking, but that looks super healthy. I love the tuna, brown rice, broccoli mix. That does look 100% healthy.
Yes.
But I think what I am making now, because Lynn's made the most, we've been trying to push up our vegetarian content just a couple of nights a week, and I think we might make you 100% jealous.
Definitely. Now, I do feel that after a great workout like Ryan and myself just did, it's only natural to have worked up an appetite, and we have a lunchbox recipe just for you. I don't know about you, but I am 100% suffering from lunchbox envy right now, and I usually come to work with something simple like a smoothie or an easy salad, like you can see tuna and broccoli. But boy, G-Man over here opened his lunchbox, the aromas that makes us all salivate. Today we're sharing our typical lunchboxes, and Graham is making a little magic in the kitchen that is inspired by Lynn's.
Yeah,
so thank you to Lynn's for this.
And it's actually really simple, a great way to up the vegetable content, as I said, but you're still keeping the proteins, you'll still keep you going. I think because we're both training a lot more now and focused on that, you want to kind of put back in, give your body the fuel. This palau is the way to do it. So what I've done here is I've got some onions browning, probably left them a little bit too long. I'm going to toast off all of my different kind of flavor.
Was there some garlic going in?
Garlic. Then
I feel like I should just close mine right now because
no, yours looks
mine
great,
doesn't
man.
even smell as good as yours.
Some cardamom. I don't know what you would call a of cardamom. Then we got 1 clove.
A bicky. Just a bicky.
So just a bicky. And then cumin. Ground cumin is going in there as well. Great to toast the spices off just to really release those flavors as well. And a little bit of, I'm going to put all the black pepper in.
Throw all the pepper in, you can go for it.
And then I've got brown rice, which I'm going to toast off first.
Oh, wow. So you're not going to cook the rice?
We'll cook it in a moment, but we're going to really let it take in those flavors, just like you're toasting your, oh, that looks amazing. You toast off your spices. We're going to toast off that rice just so all of those flavors really get in there and infuse. That's looking good.
To be honest, who makes this? You or Lynn's?
Lynn's is really trying to take over more of the when we're pushing the recipe boat out a little bit further. I think hers looks better than mine, but I'm going to try and beat her. I'm going to try. Then we've got tinned tomato. So this is going to bring in the moisture.
This is
Goes in.
And it looks quick and easy to do, so you can do this
So
simple.
simple.
Dinner as well.
And it's 100% bang on when it comes to flavor. And this is the main thing when it comes to vegetable or veggie-based dishes. Don't skimp on flavor. Ramp up the flavor.
Definitely.
That's absolutely vital. But this is hearty. It's delicious. And now I'm going to add our stock.
That smell alone is making me so hungry right now.
I might have added a little bit too much there, but and now what we'll do is cover this. About 20 minutes, half an hour, thereabouts. Just keep checking it. You want your rice to obviously then kind of swell up. We've par-cooked it, but it'll absorb those flavors. And then what I would do is once that's cooked off, just to heat through our lentils, I'll add them. And lentils, obviously, a fantastic veggie protein. And then pop it in the lunchbox. Then I'll just serve it with 2 because I love eggs. I absolutely adore my boiled eggs. And there you have it, 100% goodness in a lunchbox. And I like the fact that we finished both of ours off with some nuts to snack on. So cheers.
Here's the thing that I want to ask you. What if I gave you this and then we swapped lunchboxes today? Because I just feel like maybe yours looks a little bit more exciting than mine today. And I just think that the flavor profile that comes from yours is 100% fitting my dietary need today. So what do you think?
You know what? Actually, after seeing what Ralph put you through, and that was one of his nastier workouts, I'll swap my lunchbox with you. I will give you my lunchbox. You've earned the right. And that's actually right up my alley. I'm I'm finding I'm having broccoli so much now. I'm just going to add these in. The lentils go through. And then you let this all kind of cook through, and all those flavors will infuse beautifully. And this is going to be enough to feed like the whole studio team.
Is that coriander?
No, it's parsley.
Oh, sorry. I was just going.
Linz wouldn't do that to me.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
That looks.
Hey, how beautiful does that look? You've earned the right this
I've
morning.
earned, and so I do feel like now the next time, tomorrow even, you are going to be on lunchbox duty now. I don't need to bring my own lunch anymore because I can see what you can do in the kitchen.
Do you want to have a little taste?
Yes, please, certainly. Am I going in, yeah? Okay.
Remember, this is on Linz, not on me, yeah?
Oh, now it's on Linz. Now it's on Linz, okay. Let's get in there.
You taste the spice.
100%. Amazing. I love the lentils again. And I love that you added the egg into it. So it just ups that protein again. Great after a workout.
I need it, yeah.
You need all of that.
And you've got the almonds there to snack on to kind of keep the,
No, I don't even need the almonds.
veggie
This
protein
is
coming through.
I never thought I would say this, but gee, this is pretty good.
For the win, 100%.
100%. I need juice.
Oh, you can
Just
cheers.
wash it down.
Now I've got lunchbox envy again because you've got my lunchbox. Yeah.
So now I have to...
I'll swap my cake and my cock for a brunch. Sure? 100%. Yes. 100% tasty, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Making it to 2021 is a triumph. So celebrate with Immuenza and stand a chance to win 5,000 Rand weekly for 5 weeks. Now keep boosting your immune system with Immuenza and tell us your survival story and what protected you from, say, a lion attack to a parachute fail. We want to hear your amazing stories. Reply to Immuenza's competition post on Afternoon Express's Facebook or Twitter pages. And note that this competition runs until midnight, the 17th of March 2021. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You beautiful people, welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live on SABC3. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We know that we are very much living in the midst of a pandemic, and as South Africa continues to face the second wave of COVID-19 infections, there have been many reports that another dramatic spike in the form of a third wave is approaching in the next few months, and that's scary news. That's not good news. We need to be ready for it. And medical doctor and public health medicine specialist, Dr. Karen Begg, joins us in the studio to talk about the third wave and what that means for all of us, right? Dr. Karen Begg, good morning.
Good morning.
Not so great news this morning.
Well, we've got good news in the form that we have the vaccination rollout is happening, so that's really good. And the reality is that with all epidemics and pandemics, in this case, we know that we will be getting multiple waves, and there are a range of things that will affect that wave, this next wave. So the second wave caught us in that we had a new variant, which only emerged during in the middle of the wave, that we really realized why we were seeing such an incredible spike and why our immunity or some population immunity wasn't protecting was because we had a new variant. There's no current evidence that there's another variant emerging, but that could change at any point because the virus is here to infect. So it keeps changing itself to make sure that it keeps going. So we're kind of in a race between population immunity, which the virus will be making sure that it keeps mutating, and against vaccination. So the quicker we can vaccinate, so countries that are vaccinating in a great hurry are doing a really good job, but the slower it takes, the more chance we give for the virus to mutate, which means that we may then have a bigger third wave.
Whoa.
I mean, I want to take it back, Doc, to, you know, the statistics currently in South Africa. How many new infections are there and recoveries? Are we improving compared to, you know, the first wave?
So the proportions stay the same. Okay. So we have massive numbers. So we just had, I don't know whether everybody's aware that we literally covered our first year. Can you believe that COVID, it seems like forever.
It's been, what,
it seems like forever,
days
but
now.
it is literally just over the first year that we had our first patient. Wow. And we're now 1,500,000 patients, cases down, of which we have, you know, close to 98% recovery. But what we really need to understand is that whilst we know that, is that 50,000 people have died, that we know, that are reported, all right? But we also know that there's 150,000 excess deaths. So remember that when we're counting, it means that we've counted, that we know somebody's died in hospital and we know they've died of COVID. Yes. But we also know that there are other deaths where people die at home before they get to hospital. Somebody dies in hospital before they've had the diagnosis. And so we've got 150,000 excess deaths. So that's probably closer to what our COVID death toll is. And then what's even more important is that 20% of our cases have had severe disease. Hospitalized and are unlikely, you know, and many may not recover fully. We have the long COVID. Yes. So it's not just about the deaths, it's actually about a lot of people, a vast proportion of people who will be living with long COVID for some time to come.
What's been really, I suppose, encouraging to see is the number of recoveries that we've seen. We've seen a really good recovery rate. But let's talk about the third wave, Doctor. It's coming, we're talking about it. It's got me so unsettled, and I'm sure so many people are thinking about that as well. Can you estimate or predict when about that could be happening?
So that is the million-dollar question. However, what we do know is that the waves in other countries, so the one advantage of being a little bit behind is that other countries go first. And so we see that waves are pretty much 3 months apart, more or less.
All right.
So we're expecting our third wave somewhere around May, June, probably not as late as July. There are a number of factors that are going to affect the third wave. One is that people are going to be, as it gets colder, are going to be more indoors. Okay. So outdoors really helps us. Yes. Although, of course, summer you'd think that it would have helped us, but we had a new variant. So if we don't have a new variant, the challenge is we hopefully will have some higher immunity, which means that the peak of the spike won't be quite as high. But if we get a new variant, then we may be back in December. Wow. But the challenge is that we really need to be making sure that everybody avoids crowded places, closed spaces. We need ventilation. And the problem in winter, we keep our windows closed, we keep our doors closed, and we don't have ventilation. We're also crowded because we're inside. Yes. And we're
cuddling.
Exactly.
Aren't we? We're doing that.
So real challenges with third wave. So what we really need to be reminding ourselves of is
that girl.
You just have to keep your mask on all the time, okay? And making sure that we have good physical distancing, all right? So I always have to commend the studio that whenever I come in, everybody else is wearing their masks. We're always physically distant, and that's really important. Sanitize, wash your hands. And we just really need to make sure that those public health measures, because those actually actually will make an even bigger difference than the vaccine. So we kind of, the vaccine is to get our immunity so that we can get over the fact that we're not terribly good, compliant human beings.
Yes. If we can avoid it, avoid it.
If we were really good, we could have actually all stopped the virus in its tracks and made sure that we don't emerge into these multiple waves.
Yes, but on that note, Doctor, what can we do individually, to prepare ourselves to be ready for the third wave? Because I'm sure people who have missed the first wave, the second wave, they're like, I need to do something about this third wave.
So the most important really is to think that, to behave as if you have the virus.
Okay.
All right. So I think that one of the challenges is asymptomatic infection. And I think that we kind of keep thinking that I need to protect myself and we forget about others. The reality is that actually the reason for the mask is to make sure that I don't infect you, or you, or you, or you.
Yeah.
So the reality is that what we need to be doing is making sure that I pretend that I have the disease and I make sure, as if I'm asymptomatic, that I don't give it to anybody else. And that changes your mindset because actually you're a lot more cautious about making sure that you don't spread it to your family, about not spreading it to your workplace, not spreading it in school. And so you just pretend that you have it, make sure that you do all of your public health measures and just, be healthy. Go outside, exercise, good sunlight, eat a healthy diet. And other than that, just, behave as if you have it and make sure you don't spread it to anybody else.
And the thing is applying those same principles everywhere you go. So in other words, you can't just think because you know your family members means that they're not carrying it. People go to work and then come back and go, oh, safe now. I've been wearing a mask all day at work, and they hug their loved ones at home, but their loved ones have also been to the shops and been everywhere else. But listen, if you want more information, there is a whole host of information platforms out there that are available. The website is www.sacoronavirus.co.za. You can also WhatsApp that support line that's always open and ready to take your questions and help you. 060-012-3456. There's also that emergency number on your screen, 0800 029 999. Lots of information. Dr. Karin Beck, thank you very much for joining us today. And of course, South Africa's Health Minister, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, has said that the next wave of COVID-19 infections could be delayed if we do keep up with the rules and keep the social distancing and mask up and all those things. Thank you, Doctor.
And get your vaccine when it comes.
Oh, please.
Eventually.
Thank you so much, Dr. Karim, and I can't say enough. It's such vital information, which makes me think there's only one more thing to do before we get involved in the kitchen, of course, with myself and G. I got you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Now, Mzansi, of course, if you love coffee, then you definitely know what latte art is. Now, it's the artwork that baristas make on the milk froth that tops coffees, and some have even turned it into an art form. Now, latte art was popularized in the 1980s and 90s in the US, and the two most popular styles of latte art are free pouring, where the art is created by pouring the froth milk over the crema of the espresso, and then there's something called etching, where you create the art with a spoon or a toothpick or stirrer of some sort. Now, today we're trying it out ourselves, and in fact, we're going to have a little challenge to see who makes the best latte art. Gee.
I'm glad we're not doing the pouring technique, because I have tried that actually, and it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to create anything other than like a fern
We'll
leaf.
get there.
Yeah, no, we'll get there. So we are going to create our own. We've been using our barista device here. We've had it on actual latte art setting, believe it or not. So
Wait,
that's
what?
given us, how cool is that?
No ways. Okay.
So that's nicely frothed. We're going to do an espresso, you said?
Yeah, let's hit it. I've got my pot in already.
So we're using the Voluto, the original, the Mac Daddy, the George OG of our capsules this morning. Look at that beautiful unison, the choreographed dance of the coffee. And what I love, you've already got, you mentioned the word crema, which is it's that kind of cream of froth that happens naturally with the coffee.
That good stuff on the top,
with espresso, you get this superb. That for me is where that first punch of flavor comes from. Absolutely beautiful. So now I will start with my...
So I'm nervous here. Like, what happens? So you're gonna put the cream on the top, of course, the crema.
So I'm going to pour a little bit of my frothy milk on top.
Everybody's just waiting in deep anticipation. Yeah, I think you should get all the way to the top so the camera can see, G. I want them to know how good my barista making skills are. Ooh, that looks good. There we go, there we go. Leave some for me, of course.
There we go. All right,
Thank you very much, sir. All right.
All right.
So wait, you gotta wait for me. Hold on, you're just like getting into it there. Hang on.
Letting my creative juices flow here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, G, you only left me with like half the amount of milk, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. I see how you are. So is this how we apparently we only have like 60 seconds because this is the challenge that I think we've got to put out to everybody.
All right.
So let's
and the ladies will have to do their
get
best
into this.
as
So
well.
you ready?
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go for it.
What are you making, by the way?
I don't know yet.
What am I gonna do? Okay, I've got something. Nature Boy has been inspired by nature. Oh, yes. Ooh.
His hair. There's his little smile.
30 seconds left, G. 30 seconds left.
Oh, that looks actually really cute. I wanted to do my son, but it kind of looks like a monkey. But I think that's actually really cute.
Time is up, G. What's going on? What did you make? Is it an octopus?
No, it's not an octopus. You're looking at it upside down. There you can see, I'll point it out there, his eyes, his nose, his little smile, his crazy hair. That's my son.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Or a monkey.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can get deep into mine, but I made a, so it was a butterfly, but it's a butterfly in flight. So you know when a butterfly moves, you can't really see it.
It's just a blur.
Yeah, it's very blurry.
Blur.
I don't know if you guys can see that. But of course, guys, I don't know what you think of my butterfly and G's son, of course. But let me just.
It's either that or an orangutan. That's one of those.
I'm going low here so I can try show the camera because you dodged me on the milk, and I think that's why my butterfly didn't come out perfectly. Let's see. I'm proud, G. I mean, it's our first attempt.
It is. I'm very proud of us, man. Well done. And of course, the added bonus at the end of it all, we get to drink a delicious coffee.
Yes.
So I think we'll have to challenge the rest of the team to create their Expresso. Oh, don't ruin it now. Let it, don't.
So this can't be ruined?
He's going to drink it. But I think I won that round, hey? Clearly.
Yeah, you have it, How can I go up against your son, man? Come on. Well, Mzansi, of course, let us know. Stick around because we are going to be challenging the rest of the presenters on this challenge, on this barista challenge. And if you're doing one itself at home, then maybe you can also enter the challenge too. Get involved in our social media channels and put your barista creation on top of this. But let us know what you thought of our etching skills. G, well done, brother.
Eh?
That one's yours. Well done. Well done.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Now, the Latte Art Challenge is still on. It's time for me, Kushka Adams, woo woo, and Jamie Lee Domberg to set up the Nespresso machines, okay? Listen, Ryle and G have set the bar high, kind of. But now it's time to see if we have what it takes to be the crema de la crema of coffee art. Baristas, which is us, Jamie Lee.
Yes.
Are we ready?
I think we are. I think they set the bar very low, so I think we could do better than that. Girl, I've seen your
100%.
coffee making skills, so I know that we can do it, okay?
Cool. So we're gonna count down now.
No, not yet. We're going to make our coffee first.
Oh, we first make it.
Before we make the art, we're going to have to make the coffee.
Oh, sorry. I was really excited.
You were very excited. It's fine, it's fine. So we're going to do an espresso.
Oh.
Just pop that in, and then that should give us enough time.
Have you ever done something like this before?
Never. I tried to low-key Google something right now, but...
So you were trying... You see, Jamie Lee is trying to cheat. She's trying
because
to...
we're a team. We are a team.
Oh,
But
we're
not-
working together.
It's-
I thought it was a challenge. And my understanding of a challenge is there are winners and there are losers.
It was International Women's Day yesterday, so I thought that, girl, me and you
Tommy,
together...
happy
That is why I
International
thought we were
Women's
together
Day.
against the boys.
I feel
But if
like-
you want to go against each other, we can...
No, it's
No?
us against the boys.
Us
We're
against the
switching it
boys.
up now, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
So, we've got
Mine
our
is
coffee.
ready.
Yes.
They can't put the timer on just yet, please.
It's ready?
Yes, it's all ready for us. This is the first time I'm actually doing this. I'm really excited. I don't know what to expect. Baristas make it seem like it's so easy to do latte art. Jamie, are you okay there?
My friend. I will just hand this over to you. I'm going to sanitize. There we go. You can grab that.
Go for it.
Okay, look, it's starting to look like something, so that makes me excited. Just get your milk in there, and then we can start the challenge. Have you done
I'm
this
not
before?
doing it right already, Jamie.
No,
I'm just seeing some funky things.
It does that, but then...
It switches up after a
So
while.
60 seconds.
Cool.
Do we have the time going in?
Do we have the clock on the
2,
wall?
1, and go.
What do I want to do? Oh, okay.
They didn't say we can't go back into the...
50 seconds left. Jamie, this one is for you, okay?
My friend, nothing is happening.
Nothing is moving here.
I need to fire Google because...
What is inspiring your art right now?
My friend, it's just
Where
the
do you find
flow.
inspiration?
It's the flow.
I'm just worried that you're not going to see what's on my... Okay.
Okay, wait.
I'm going to leave it as is because...
No.
less is more.
Don't tell me what you do, because then you might just think that I'm stealing yours.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Everybody,
I really can't wait to see what Jamie just did.
can I see yours?
No problem. I'm not sure if you can see it. It was meant to be a heart. Okay, wait. But now because I'm moving the cup a lot, you're not seeing the heart part of it, but believe me, it's...
I definitely see the vision that you were going for. Same thing that I did.
Yes.
I just felt like sometimes you don't need to have art for a latte.
100%.
You just leave it as is. I think that with an espresso, it gives you all that flavor. You don't need to add any art to it. So I just kept it as perfect as it is. And I hope you see the vision, South Africa, because you're going to have to vote for who you think made the best art on our social media platforms, Twitter, Expresso Facebook page. Let us know, between Kutle, myself, G and Ryle, who made the best latte art. It's a very tough decision, but it's all up to you.
We'll give you a second to think about it. We did a fantastic job.
Yes, and like G said, the best part of this is that we can actually enjoy this. So while we enjoy this, you get to enjoy those news headlines with the boys.
Oh, well done, ladies. Thank you very much for that. It's 7 o'clock. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Starting off here in South Africa, Cape Townians have been advised not to be alarmed by a full-volume nuclear siren test that Koeberg Nuclear Power Station will conduct later today. The test of the nuclear power plant's public warning system will take place between 10 a.m. and noon. And the sirens will be set off in Atlantis, Dennfontein, Melkbosstrand, Van Riebeekstrand, Philadelphia, Bloebeekstrand, Bloebeeksgrant, West Beach, Sunningdale, Parklands, Robben Island and the farms surrounding the Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. Residents have been urged to keep their pets indoors as the wailing sounds may scare them. Meanwhile, communities in Hazyview and surrounding areas in Mpumalanga fear for their safety after a large number of crocodiles escaped from a farm enclosure of which the fencing gave way due to persistent rain. Some 160 crocodiles slithered off, but 50 have been recaptured since, and it's suspected that the reptiles are in the vicinity of rivers and dams at White River and Hazyview. Meanwhile, 51 crocodiles have been recaptured after escaping from a Bonnevale farm in the Western Cape, but an unknown number are still on the loose. In international news, a panel of 20 experts began a debate yesterday into the cause of Argentine football icon Diego Maradona's death to determine if there was negligence on the part of healthcare professionals. Maradona, who was 60, died of a heart attack on the 25th of November, just weeks after undergoing brain surgery for a blood clot. And they are looking into the health treatment he received prior to his death to determine whether or not to bring a case of wrongful death, which could result in a prison sentence of 15 years. Niger's President Muhammadu Issoufou has been announced the 2020 winner of the $5 million Ibrahim Prize for African Leadership. Issoufou has served 2 5-year terms as president from 2011 to 2020 and is said to be succeeded by former Interior Minister Mohamed Mozaoum, who won the presidential election last month. The prize committee commended Issoufou's leadership after he had inherited one of the world's poorest economies, and it said he fostered economic growth, showed unwavering commitment to regional stability and to the Constitution, and championed African democracy. And now, news of the much-anticipated interview. While millions of people around the world are discussing the much-anticipated Oprah Winfrey interview with 36-year-old Prince Harry and 39-year-old Meghan Markle that aired on Sunday night on American TV, the royal family has yet to respond to accusations from the couple. Markle said a year after she married Prince Harry in a fairy tale wedding, her life as a member of the British royal family had become so emotionally desolate that she had contemplated suicide, but received no support. At another point, members of the family told Harry and Meghan, a former TV actress from the US, that they did not want the couple's unborn child, Archie, to be a prince or princess, and expressed concerns about how dark the color of the baby's skin would be. British media in general reacted to the interview, saying, quote, "The explosive tell-all interview went much further than expected and will be hugely damaging to the royal family." The Daily Telegraph said the couple, quote, "delivered enough bombshells to sink a floater." And the Times wrote, "Whatever the royal family was expecting from this interview, this was worse." That's where we leave it for now, something to really sink your teeth into. Here's Graham with a look at what's happening in sports.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tabsi. Let's get in with cricket first, and what a performance we were treated to yesterday. Kyle Verreynne hitting an impressive double century to guide the Cape Cobras to a massive 513 for 6 on their second day of their CSA 4-day domestic series against the Warriors at Newlands. The Warriors now trailing the Cobras by 481 runs with 9 wickets remaining. Other fixtures, the Knights, they lead the Titans by 44 runs with 4 wickets still in hand, and the Lions trail the Dolphins by 101 runs with 3 wickets remaining. And day 3 action will continue from 10 a.m. today. Local rugby also on the cards, as today we've got 2 second-round kickoff 2021 games to look forward to. The Griquas welcome the Stormers to the Tafelberg Stadium in Kimberley. That's at 4:45 today. Michael Hasner will return to Kimberley on loan from the Stormers. The Cape Town franchise has also made 2 changes to their team that narrowly lost out to the Cheetahs. Cyril Peterson, he replaces the injured Tristan Lates, and Sihle Njazula, he'll start ahead of Edwil van der Merwe. And in the second fixture, we'll see the Pumas up against the Bulls at 7 p.m. Springbok loose forward Nizam Kar will again lead the Bulls, who made no changes to their starting 15 that thrashed the newcomers Elephants in Pretoria last weekend. And then finally on to football, a Ben Godfrey own goal and a Jorginho penalty, sealing a 2-0 win for Chelsea against Everton at Stamford Bridge last night. And with only 10 games left, Thomas Tuchel's side remain in 4th place on the log, in fact unbeaten in his tenure so far. Now 4 points clear of 5th place to Everton, so a lot riding on the match last night. The English Premier League action will continue tomorrow evening. Excuse me, that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take another look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you so much, Dee, for the sports update. Now it's time to get into the second look at the temperatures for the rest of the country. We've asked you to share your sunrise pictures. For you and your hometown to shine. Thank you to Jason Sebastian from Dalpoort Swip, who shared the silhouetted photo of the sun rising through the streets in the distance. Your day is set to be a sunny one with a maximum of 33 degrees. However, you can also expect the wind to pick up this afternoon with wind gusts up to 43 kilometers an hour. Regular contributor Louise G. Sherry saying through the stunning image of the Johannesburg skyline, we are absolutely loving this. You can expect mostly sunny conditions today with a peak of 29 degrees Celsius. Thank you so much to both of you for your stunning sunrise pictures. Please continue to interact with us on the Expresso Facebook page by sharing your sunrise photos with us and the location. We absolutely love seeing how you start your day. Now, we can't forget to send a shout out to our ever-growing international audience that tune in via the Africa channel, broadcasting in the United States of America. We are giving you a brief weather update for Salt Lake City, the capital city of Utah. Your summers are hot and dry, while winters are wet and cold, although not typically severe. And today's temperatures will be on the lower side. A maximum of only 8 degrees Celsius is forecast, with periods of sun and a passing shower. Now we bring it back down to Mzansi. The Department of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries has warned coastal communities against collecting and eating washed up fish and shellfish, as these may be stale or even toxic. Complex and drastic changes taking place under the ocean surface have resulted in massive fish and shellfish mortalities along South Africa's east and south coast. The department says this is due to a marine heat wave as a result of a very large Agulhas current meander. This means that the Agulhas current has changed course drastically, resulting in changing temperatures, ocean currents, water levels and water biochemistry, which has led to the fish mortalities. The department said that when the marine heat wave reaching temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius first started, reports of fish swimming away from warm water were received, as well as some seaweed bleaching. It said the cold water intrusion resulted in fish and shellfish suffering from thermal shock, which stunned them in the shallows. Some fish and shellfish subsequently found themselves too weak to avoid being washed out to shore. Here's another look at the temperatures. Polokwane, your temperatures ranged from a low of 19, reaching a high of 34 degrees. Bombela, you peak at 34 from a low of 20 degrees. A mostly sunny day in Pretoria with a minimum of 20, reaching a maximum of 31 degrees. Jozi Maboneng, a perfect summer's day, peaking at 29 degrees Celsius. Mahikeng, partly cloudy conditions in your part of the country with a low of 17, reaching a high of 31. Klerksdorp also peaking in the 30s, 31 is your maximum for this Tuesday. Kimberley, you start off the morning with a minimum of 13, peaking at 34 degrees. And Bloemfontein kicks off their Tuesday with a low of 19, reaching a high of 31 degrees. It seems like it's mostly sunny in major parts of the country, such as Richards Bay, reaching a high of 32 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, great conditions in your part of the country, with temperatures ranging from 19, reaching a high of 31. Durban, 22, 27. Tata, your minimum is 14, reaching an afternoon high of 28. East London, 18, 24. Cradock, your high today is 33 from a minimum of 13. Gqeberha, 17, 24. George, you kick off the day with a minimum of 17, reaching a high of 24 degrees. Cape Town, it's a rainy day forecast for this Tuesday, 17, 20. Worcester, 16, 24. And Sutherland coming through with a range of 10, reaching a high of 21. And Uppington, 13 is your low, reaching a high of 31 degrees. We'll have another look at your stunning sunrise photos and the weather forecast for the day in the final hour of the show.
Of course, Mzansi. Thank you so much, Kukla, of course, for those beautiful weather updates. But we are still in the building. It's singer, songwriter, and voiceover artist Lauren Lee, and she's about to show off her musical talents, and she's performing something special. It's from Snow Allegra's 2019 album, and the name of the song is Woe, and it's talking about love and all the highest forms of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Lauren Lee, the stage is yours.
Tell you this one time, but I want you to be mine. Can I come see you now? Just wanna lay with you all night. Wanna touch my lips with mine, 'cause I need you now. Don't wanna leave, I just wanna be here by your side, 'cause you make me feel and believe that we're in paradise. No, I don't feel the ground. No, I don't feel the ground. But I'm feeling right. I tell you what it's all about, 'cause you're making me feel this way. And it's kinda like, whoa, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, you make me feel and believe in me, oh, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, 'cause you make me feel like, whoa, nothing like when we lock eyes. I look away from time to time. All I see is you right now. Just wanna lay with you all night. Wanna touch your lips with mine, 'cause I need you now. Don't wanna leave, I just wanna be here by your side, 'cause you make me feel and believe that we in paradise. No, I don't feel the ground. No, I don't feel the ground. But I'm feeling right. I tell you what it's all about, 'cause you're making me feel this way. And it's kinda like, whoa, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, you make me feel and believe in me, oh, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. You make me feel like, whoa. Oh, you make me feel and believe in me, oh, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, 'cause you make me feel like, oh.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Lee in the building. Give her a round of applause. Please take a bow. Your band has been absolutely incredible. Of course, Mzansi, we are going to be entertained with her a little bit later on the show, so you do not want to go anywhere as we're letting our ears travel to a magical place, of course, as we kick off the rest of this Travel Tuesday. Lauren Lee, thank you very much.
Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back. You are live on this Travel Tuesday. So let's get traveling, man. If there's one place in Africa you would love to see, Kenya has to be it. That's certainly on my bucket list. It's destinations known for lying on the Earth's equator, which offers its own particular perspective on life. Unbelievable coastline flanked by the Indian Ocean. And it's a country that also offers a very diverse wildlife set and ecosystem. Absolutely beautiful on balance, from the Great Rift Valley to the savanna grasslands. Mesmerizing.
Giving us so much FOMO right now. But yesterday, of course, was International Women's Day. So today we're chatting to an inspirational woman, Wangechi, who has traveled to at least 20 countries and over 200 towns, all to learn about different cultures, landscapes and people. And we have her on the line right now. A very good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
Really, really good, man. We love the fact that we are able to, even if it's just in our imaginations, do a bit of traveling right now, because it's been a tough year in lockdown. And obviously we've done very little traveling, which I'm sure hits a travel writer really, really hard. But I'm going to ask you to take us back a moment. You're obviously really proud of your nation, of Kenya. What was it like growing up in Kenya? And for someone who is so well traveled, how does Kenya differ from other places in Africa?
Wow, I think Kenya is the best place to grow up in my view. I think first and foremost, Kenya is more or less a very close-knit country. So growing up myself, I have very close ties with my family, both the nuclear family and the extended family. So you can imagine having support from across both your nuclear family and the extended, whether it's about your studies, whether it's about your goals, whether it's about your career. Everyone is involved in that. And I think that helps hone someone, myself, into who I am today, so I'm grateful for that. Second thing is that Kenya, as you said, is such a diverse country and a vibrant country that has so much to offer. So imagine you're in a country, this is Kenya, where if I really want to go for hiking, for example, we have the second highest mountain in Africa, which is Mount Kenya, so you can go hike that among other mountains and hills. If I want to get a blend of cultural integration and experiences, Kenya has over 44 tribes, which you can get to experience in their natural settings. You know, mini touristic places, it's actually in the natural setting. If it's wildlife, Kenya has abundant wildlife. And the best thing about it is most of them are found in national parks, which means you're watching animals roaming wild and hunting and, you know, just living their best lives in the wild. And I think these are some of the things that just, you know, you can make it up. And you can imagine if you're tired of the town, I just cross over to the coastal region where I can get to swim in the Indian Ocean. I can get to snorkel. I can get to watch some of the best sunrise and sunset in the world. And then imagine having two types of beaches. We've got both coastal beaches in the coastal area, and then we've got desert beaches. How many countries can, you know, flaunt for having things like that? So that's the beauty of being in Kenya and growing up in Kenya, or even traveling Kenya. The diversity of what to do and what to experience is over and above anyone's imagination. So I say to everyone, welcome to Kenya, Karibu Kenya.
I love it.
I feel like you're showing off now, because really you're hitting the field. I want to book a flight right now. And like you said, 20 countries, 200 towns, just shows that you really dedicated so much of your life to travel and tourism. But of course, 2020 was hit with a global pandemic. How did that affect you and your travel and tourism lifestyle?
Wow, I think for myself, the first thing was fear. I was so terrified. I was so terrified of contracting COVID. I was so terrified of spreading it to my loved ones. So for the longest time, I just opted not to travel. For me, that was my easiest and fastest safety net. However, you know, with time and getting adapted to it and following all the regulations from the government and WHO, we've been able to ease out, and I think things are slowly getting in. In terms of business, as you said, in the travel business, everything from curating amazing travel experiences for people, to travel writing, to creating digital content. My company, Wangechi Travels Limited, was really hit hard, because again, the borders were closed. Local travel was also reduced. Some places, some border crossings or county crossings were closed. So yeah, for some time to just completely down. However, funny enough, as they say, you know, every cloud has a silver lining. Even with the pandemic, and with the regulations, which we're grateful for, because they did help our numbers keep low, they did help our fatalities keep low, and so now we are opening up, and we're slowly opening up, and businesses are coming back to normal or some sort of semblance of normalcy. But the interesting thing is that COVID in its own way pushed people over the edge. Learning that you can be locked in a space, not having an option of walking out of your house or traveling to that place you always said, when I have money, I'll go, has really changed people. People are now saying, I won't travel when I have money, or I'll travel tomorrow. It's like, let me travel now, because I don't know what tomorrow holds. And that for us, especially in the travel business, is quite... It's something happy that we're happy to see, because now more people are opting out of their houses and more people are opting to travel, and definitely it's a boost to the business and to the tourism industry as a whole.
And we certainly hope that continues. I mean, it's such a similar experience of life here in South Africa as well, because we are also so reliant on our tourism industry and have been hit just as hard. But it becomes such a personal challenge for all of us, and we become so much more proud of our country. And say we were to just hop on a plane right now and come to Kenya, we know that you've got 2 official languages, English and Swahili. So now we step off the plane and we meet a Kenyan person for the first time. Obviously, we want to be able to speak the lingo. Can you teach us a good phrase in Swahili?
I don't know how to pick up a man there. How do I talking?
I think the easiest phrase is always a greeting, say habari.
Habari.
Habari is just basically saying habari. And so, and you might tell it to someone else, or they might say it to you. And if you're having a good day, you'll say mzuri.
Mzuri.
Mzuri. Habari.
Mzuri.
Mzuri. I love that.
And then smile. We have contagious smile, so just smile.
Habari.
That's universal. I think that is the universal language. You've given us a lot to smile about this morning. So good to see that you are feeling positive about where the industry is headed in your country. We hope that you get to travel a lot this year and really savor the gems that you have on your back doorstep in Kenya. But thank you for sharing that love and that pride of your beautiful country with us. We really appreciate it.
Please, welcome to Kenya. Karibu Kenya. Karibu Kenya. Our borders are open, so welcome anytime. It would be great to host you guys also.
Oh, now that's an invitation. Absolutely love it. I think all of us really do appreciate being able to travel the small things in life so much more now. Maybe you want to add Kenya to your bucket list.
It's your feel-good breakfast show, and a respected brand, strategy and reputation authority in Africa and across the world, Tebe Ikalafeng has gained an incomparable perspective and world-class experience in building brands in Africa. He's playing an integral part in the ongoing 9th annual Buy Local Summit and Expo, hosted by Proudly South African, as he presents sessions to entrepreneurs and the public, and he's joining us via video call to chat all about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tebe, it's so good having you.
Kenya, I should say. I should say good morning from Kenya.
Oh, you got to from Kenya. That's exciting. Yes.
How's Kenya treating you on this fine day, my friend?
Kenya is treating me very well. It's a beautiful country, as you know, one of the leading countries in the continent. I've been to every single one of them, and it's certainly one that always stands out in my memory.
The traveled man indeed. Now listen, Tebe, yesterday you conducted a workshop in which you guided 20 entrepreneurs who are company members of Proudly South Africa. Now, through the process of taking a good product to a great brand. So what are some of the top tips you've shared over your beautiful 20 years of incredible strategy experience?
Well, one of the most important realization about entrepreneurs is that a lot of them are very good at coming up with ideas. But what they're not good at is how to transform those ideas into just good commodities, into great brands. So one of the things that we tried to teach them yesterday was first to understand that if you're going to build a great brand, you must be clear about how to distinguish yourself, what your brand stands for, and how you want to compete. The second most important thing is how to disrupt the marketplace. So if you look at some of the great brands that have come up in the last 20 years or so, whether it's Discovery Vitality disrupting the whole insurance industry, whether it is Uber disrupting the whole travel or taxi industry, whether it's Google disrupting the library industry, all of them have come up with an idea that is different rather than an idea that is better than the previous idea. So we talked to them and taught them how to be disruptive in their thinking. But most importantly, you can be all these disruptive you want, but if you don't know how to deliver, then your brand is not going to go anywhere. The most critical one also is how to deliver your brand, how to take your brand to the marketplace, and finally, how to defend it. the tragedy that a lot of entrepreneurs always face is the idea that they lose their ideas, that somebody's stolen the idea, so they don't know how to protect their intellectual property. So we talk to them about trademarks, about patents, and about design, how to protect their ideas, and most importantly, how to measure return on investment. To me, those are the critical ways in terms of how you build a great brand.
Tebe, I'm loving these tips you're giving. I feel like that's something I can apply to my own life. I really, really love that. And I know that tomorrow
It does apply, by the way.
It does, yes, you're right. Now, I know that tomorrow you are presenting a short session called Buy Africa, Build Africa, in which you will talk about the greater opportunities on the continent for South African companies. Isn't trading here at home in SA first prize for South African-based companies?
Sure, we learned a few things about COVID, and one is that we have to focus home. We have to focus our energies at home. We have to think local. So, of course, one of the things that Proudly SA is doing is about driving the idea of investing in local, buying local, because when you buy local, you are creating jobs, you are investing in, you are creating a tax base, you are really investing in the development of the country. But now, as part of a broader African agenda, as an African, now this year, the beginning of the year, the Africa Free Trade Continental Agreement has come into place, and the purpose of it is to move intra-Africa trade from 18% to 50% by 2030. So meaning that African businesses, whether it's South African, Kenyan, Nigerian, when I have an opportunity to be able to trade across borders. And that's always been the challenge in terms of how do you grow, because one of the ways you grow is you expand your marketplace. So it means it creates an opportunity for even those South African businesses, those South African entrepreneurs to be able to trade across the continent. So our Buy Africa, Build Africa initiative, it is really about understanding that at a micro you are thinking buy local as in buy in South African, but at a bigger picture you are thinking how do you grow the bigger pie, how do you take advantage of the opportunity in the continent. I mean, the fact that, as I said, there's only 18% intra-Africa trade means that there's a big opportunity for us to trade with each other to grow our markets. So the strategies are very related and integrated. You buy local here, tomorrow you cross the borders and continue, and with a much lower tariffs and sometimes no tariffs, easy to move across the continent. It's an opportunity for South African brands.
Tebe, I've got to say, I absolutely love that. Not only supporting local, but of course, encouraging a community within our neighboring countries and of course, the greater good of Africa. Now, if we're encouraging South African brands to trade on the continent, how do we reconcile that with promoting our homegrown brands versus buying imported items from other African countries?
Well, to me, it's part of the bigger goal of growing Africa. See, one of the challenges that we have as a continent, we have not delivered on our promise of 1957 when the first sub-Saharan country, Ghana, gained its independence. And one of those big goals, how do we create an independent Africa? And part of creating an independent Africa is understanding that to grow the economic independence of the continent, we're going to have to collaborate. We're going to have to work together as African businesses, African business people, and as African people. So to me, they're quite related. It is part of the same agenda. I don't think we'll be taking away anything from anyone, but what I do think is we're actually going to get better, because getting better means that we are now going to learn how to compete with our fellow Africans, but we're also going to see how others are competing and how we can improve our own products.
Thank you, Tebe. I agree. Some ambitious goals for the country and the continent ahead.
Indeed. And thank you for having us over. And we must keep buying local. We must keep buying Africa, because when we do that, we're growing South Africa and we're growing the continent. And that's the most important job we have. That's our legacy.
Thank you, Tebe. That is the most important job that we have. And why don't you at home take part in the conversation around stimulating our economy during this tough economic period? You can access all the events taking place during the 9th Annual Buy Local Summit and Expo for absolutely free. Simply visit buylocalsummit.co.za for all of the info.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your feel-good breakfast show, and recently a Facebook user going by the name Mini Ships went viral for her funny creative photos that have definitely caught our attention. The artist behind the alias name is Kenyan photographer and visual artist Catherine Jepkemboy, who joins us this morning via video call to chat about her unique and playful view of photography and how she has not only impressed Kenyans with her incredible skills, but the rest of the world who love the way she is capturing Kenyan culture in a punny way. I love that.
Ah, we love it. Good morning. So good to have you here, Catherine.
Thank you. Good morning, too.
Well, we first saw your photos doing the rounds on social media, and we've all loved them, with a tiny woman in action who is photoshopped into comical scenarios, and it's also so funny to see. But how did you come to first create your images, and where did the inspiration come from?
So it started on 2019. I wanted to post the pictures of me, but my better half told me, what if I post my pictures but the mini version of me? And that's where Mini Chips started from.
I love that, the mini version of you. Now, where did all of your passion for photography start? And, you know, did you ever think it would get to the point where you are now trending for your unique work?
Yeah, at first I wanted to post them and trend immediately, but things did not go the way I wanted, so I continued posting them for fun. Yeah.
You see, Catherine, there is so much beauty and so much richness about Kenyan culture. I mean, I absolutely love it. Why is it so important for you to incorporate Kenyan culture in your work in this really funny way?
I think those are the things that people are related with, like food, and.
Speaking of Kenyan culture and with a young family of your own, how has life been in your home country, especially in light of everything going on around the COVID-19 pandemic? What has that impact been for you on your day-to-day life?
It has been very hard, but we are trying hard to keep on moving and having faith and hope,
And how's the family doing? How many children there in your household you and your better half have?
We have 2 kids, 2 boys.
Are they into photography like you?
No, they are still young. My firstborn is 2 years and secondborn is 6 months.
Oh, but they're so cute at that age. You must enjoy taking photographs of them as well.
Yeah.
So take us through the process. You know, when you create those really pictures of mini you in the pictures, from, you know, the planning to when you're shooting the photos, and then when you're sitting there editing and photoshopping them, what are you thinking? Do you already know when you take the photo that this one's gonna be funny? Or do you just shoot and then, you know, plan afterwards?
Okay, that part, I've never said it's editing or, I've always said it's my little secret. But I always buy the things that I'm using, like the book, the avocado, the pencil,
That is very sweet. Now, we just want to know from you, what has to date been your favorite photograph that you created? And just tell us a little bit about it.
I think I love all of them.
Well, you know what? We love all of them. That's the thing. And every single one of them is so funny. And I don't know how you're able to keep it so fresh all the time, but it brings us all the positive joy and all the feel good. So thank you very much for doing that and for sharing your life experiences every day with us, okay?
Yeah.
That's Catherine Jepkemboy, aka Mini Ships.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your unique view of the life that has been captured in your series of photographs. Now, we encourage you to visit and support. You can find her at Mini Ships Facebook or Instagram page. That handle is on your screen right now. And once you start exploring her work, we promise you this artist's authentic and personal touches will have you smiling from ear to ear as you catch glimpses of everyday Kenyan culture and life.
We absolutely love and appreciate the work of visual artist Mini Chips. Such an innovative and creative way of capturing the Kenyan culture. Now, this inspired us to put our very own Kenyan twist on her favorite dish, chicken stew served with, is it chapati?
Yeah.
Pati, our favorite celebrity chef Clem is over here to show us how quick and easy it is to whip up a classic stew dish using some ingredients found in Kenya's national dishes. Chef Clem, are you nervous at all about this?
No.
Okay, you've got...
You guys should be nervous. Because
No,
in
we're
this new
not.
kitchen, there's so much space.
There is
You're gonna
so
have to, like,
much
I'm gonna be
movement
like
happening.
dancing
I love
around
it.
and like just going crazy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love this dish, and I really love any culture that embraces spice. And this is one. And the ingredients are super simple, but when you use spices, it takes, and I think our moms are so good at this, it takes a humble ingredient and it's just like, boom, out the park.
That's true.
This dish does that. So I've got some onions browned off and a little bit of oil. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna add my chicken. So what you can do is you can brown your chicken off first because they like grilling meat. I was like, wow, South Africa, we were doing the same thing. So they actually like brown off the meat. That brings out so much extra flavor.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna add it to the onions now. Let it all just brown in one pot.
You know, Chef Clem, when I actually start off by browning my chicken before I add anything after because I'm scared that I'm going to burn the onions.
Okay, all right, I get you. So what you're actually doing, besides just being scared about the onions, you're actually developing flavor when you brown your chicken that way.
Oh.
And the second thing is, onions are selfish. They really are very selfish. They don't like doing their thing with other ingredients in the pot. If they're gonna brown, they want to be alone in the pot. As soon as you add another ingredient to it, they're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that for you anymore.
They become soggy, they don't fry,
And
they don't cook.
That color doesn't come out, which you really want. And it's important to get that color because that's sweetness, and that adds a layer of flavor to any dish that you're doing. That's why I always say when you brown your onions, that's the most crucial part, and it can take up to 20 minutes. Do it
brown your onions?
Yeah, do it properly.
Very low heat.
Low and slow with a little bit of salt. Develop that flavor, and you'll see the difference is, it's literally, it's not like, oh, maybe difference.
Yeah.
It's a definite difference once you get your onions like proper browned. Okay, chicken's browning, and this is another step. You really should, I feel like you're so far, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mshobawami.
Socially distant. Oh my God. So the thing about your chicken, as soon as it hits a pot, you got to really let it brown as well. When you get that brownness on the skin, on the meat, has caramelized meat flavor. We're using chicken stock today, but you can use water. As long as you get that nice crust in your chicken, you're good. Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Please do.
About caramelized onions. Can you add sugar while your onions is browning?
You can. What then must understand, because we know sugar burns, so you have to really keep your eye on the onions while they're in the pot.
Okay.
But yes, you can totally do that. Right. Chicken's in, bay leaves. Bay leaves in everything, all day, okay? As soon as your onions hit a pot, bay leaves, a lot of it. Okay, coriander, cumin, turmeric, and that's for color and a little bit of flavor. Chili.
Do we have garlic?
There's no garlic in here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna ask them on my phone somebody, but like, you guys use garlic? I'm pretty sure they do.
They do.
They do?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go find some garlic and we're gonna put that in there. So, chili.
Yeah.
And this is like a polite amount of chili. I would be like, I just love chili. It's so like amazing. Like, I don't want to say as I'm getting older because I'm not getting old, but I am obsessed with heat and chili and fire and like, so I'd definitely add more.
So if you are a bit lazy and you just get yourself a container of mixed herbs, will that work instead of, you know, the different herbs that you had on the table?
You mean the spices?
The spices, yeah.
You can totally add, because I know they use a lot of parsley as well.
Okay.
So parsley is really great because it lightens the dish and it just freshens it a little bit. So we've actually finished off our dish with a little bit of, that's coriander, but you can use parsley. Do you use a mixture of it? Fresh herbs are really great, and we've learned now in the show how easy it is just to like buy the Woolies potted herbs.
Yes. And
all you gotta do is you gotta give it a little bit of water every now and then, okay? And that's it. Keep it alive. That's all you gotta do. A little bit of water, and then you can literally just pick every time you need. And just watch those shoots grow up again. So I think it's really great. Fresh herbs and spices are the easiest way to take a dish that's average and make it amazing.
To heighten it up. I definitely get that. And you know what? I'm so happy we're touching on Kenya because Kenya is one of the best places to be. I went to Kenya for the first time with Expresso Morning Show, and I had the best time. And they absolutely love cooking, as you've mentioned. Their cuisine is very rich in flavor as well.
Expresso sent you to Kenya?
100%.
They won't even send me to Sutherland. I've been asking to go to Sutherland for so long.
Just Sutherland.
Kenya.
Not too far, right?
No, I just want to go visit Sutherland.
Don't be too jealous.
Wow. Who do I have to...
Beautiful.
No, they are. And the people are so amazing. And you know, in Cape Town, we're so lucky we get to meet like everyone from all over the world.
Yes.
Kenyan people are so friendly.
They are very friendly. And it's not even a joke or a stereotype of any sort. It's just that they have the original spirit of Ubuntu. They're very warm, they're very welcoming, and they're very sharing also with their culture.
And I love that about it. Absolutely love that. Because I mean, especially talking about food.
Yeah.
Food's all about sharing. Every time you're cooking, you gotta understand that's a labor of love and it comes from the heart. You are sharing.
Yes.
And their food is so delicious.
So delicious. Just like what you're making now.
Just like this one. Oh, by the way, it's done. Now the next ingredient is thyme. Not the herb. Thyme.
Oh.
You leave that to go, and the longer... I'll turn the heat down low now, okay?
Okay.
Because there's spices and there's tomato in there. If you go low and slow now, you develop all those rich, spicy flavors. The chicken starts falling off the bone. It gets so soft that I know some people, Tabiso, who eat the bone. Okay?
I eat the bone. I'm one of those people who eat the bone.
And it's so delicious. And I think that's all about time. You need to low and slow now. The flavors develop. This stew will fix a broken heart.
I can't wait. Are we serving it with naan bread?
So we got the chapatis.
Oh, chapatis on the side.
Or rotis. You can serve it over rice. But I love serving food with like flat bread. Because then you know you got to get your hands in there.
Dig in deep.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
This is such an amazing dish. Honestly, I love it. I mean, it's a go-to. You got to try it.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Chef Clem, for coming through and elevating our culinary skills and expanding our kitchen menus in our home. I'm pretty sure you want to get your hands on the ingredients list and recipes. It's simple. Head over to expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, of course. You're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show, and we're celebrating South Africans. Now, something that's proudly South African is the mission to stimulate our economy by encouraging us to buy local, which speaks for itself, which is why they have only made 2 TV commercials, and it's a no-brainer that iconic veteran actor John Kani has appeared in both of them, as he is as passionate about buying local as we are.
That's right, and Proudly South African is hosting their 9th annual Buy Local Summit and Expo in the midst of their 20th anniversary. And Dr. Kani is joining us now via video call ahead of introducing today's panel that will be discussing their journey and growth. Dr. John Kani, good morning.
And good morning to both of you.
Dr. John Kani, we want to know from you what compelled you to become involved in the first Proudly South African commercial, and what are some of the merits of having a national Buy Local campaign?
I was born in New Brighton, Port Elizabeth. My mum and my dad were born in this country. So I am South African. I am a South African product. When I started my acting career, I studied Shakespeare, I studied contemporary theater, I studied film, but one thing that I didn't have to study is to be me, the South African product. I understand how important, how critical, how urgent, how imperative is for the economy of this country to grow again in order to create jobs, in order to create opportunities, in order to create for young people, entrepreneurs. It's buy South African. It's simple to me. It's just buy local. That means then the production line will move as soon as I buy local.
I love that.
I absolutely love that. Now, I can't ask you enough, and you've already mentioned, obviously, the importance of buying local for yourself, but for all the other South Africans there to encourage us to get behind it, what would be your reasoning for that?
Look, we cannot underestimate the impact of COVID-19 in the economy of this country. We were in trouble even prior COVID-19. We were in sort of a virtual recession. We know that there is a tendency of not even being aware that you are buying local or non-local. Everybody should be excited, passionate about buying South Africa, because each product you buy, the value chain runs so fast that it creates a job before you leave the store.
And I know, you know, as an artist, you came back to play a presidential figure in last year's Proudly South African commercial, which was encouraging people to stimulate the local economy in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what we want to know is, what did conveying that message mean to you, especially during the tough times that we've been through?
Many, many times I get asked to do a lot of things. I get to speak, I get to perform, I get to act, I get to do things. There are certain times when I'm asked to serve as a South African, not just perhaps as an actor or a famous actor or an icon or legend, all that nonsense that surrounds my existence and my name. So when I do the call to buy South African, especially in the last one, I had this image of me like Cyril Ramaphosa addressing the nation, and I knew this was my opportunity to serve. This is my opportunity to give much more than self, to ask everybody around me in this country to get the clarion call. I'm asking the retailer to put the South African product center stage in their stores at eye level, so that's what I see when I walk through the aisles first, instead of having to bend down or to look up to find it. If you put it there, it would mean it's important to you as a retailer, it's important to me as a consumer.
I love that, and it's so necessary and such a small change that big giants can make to really promote local products in their stores.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Now listen, John Kanye, I've got to say, man, you've been an absolutely incredible servant to our country, and we've spoken about being proud of our local products, and I've got to remark on how you are just truly one of our proudly South African exports to the world, as you mentioned earlier. And you're also an Mzansi icon, and the world has obviously witnessed your legendary talent on an even greater scale. I mean, you've starred in 2 Marvel films, as well as that Lion King remake, man, just to name a few of the incredible successes. But what does this level of success after 5 decades of being in the entertainment industry mean to you?
It's the wonderful thing that I do that I value most, is to be communicating with my people, communicating with the next generation, the present generation, and talk about issues that are critical. So I always find that spin in everything I do that represents Africa.
Oh, well, Dr. Kanye, I can listen to you talk all day, and you know what, I'm hanging on to every single word you're saying, because you're imparting such wonderful advice. And hopefully you at home can take part in the conversation around stimulating our economy during this tough economic period. You can access all of the events taking place during the 9th Annual Buy Local Summit and Expo for absolutely free. Simply visit buylocalsummit.co.za for all of the information.
Thank you so much, guys. An absolute living legend there. So we're going to be proudly South African, yes, always, but we want to be proudly African, because we've been exploring the wonders of Kenya. And whenever you find yourself in the world, it doesn't matter, there's always going to be some smooth and not smooth things that you come across. And luckily for us, we all know that there is nothing smoother than Tropica. And as we explore Kenya on today's show, in our 5-second game, it's time to find out whether the ladies are smooth or not smooth. How are you feeling? You look ready. You look ready.
Very nervous.
Are you nervous?
And you must be nervous because this is going to push you. It's going to be a challenge. But we know that the golden monkey doesn't come without
You know,
timing
I've
them
never
out.
won a golden monkey in my life.
Never, ever.
I'll
This
put
will
it,
be
I'll put
that
it
day.
closer to you so that you can feel.
Oh, I can't believe
The
it.
vibrations, the vibes.
The golden monkey, look at him. Look at how calm he is.
Stunning.
So you know the deal, guys. We're going to play 5 seconds. I'm going to give you a question. You've got to list me the 3 things that I've asked for within the 5 seconds, and it goes so quickly. So you've got to be on it. I would suggest 1-word answers where you can, or noises in some cases. That it might be a noise from here from time to time. And then one of you will leave with the majestic
Can I
golden
just
monkey
touch
in
it,
hand.
just in case?
Hey, look at
Okay.
him. It's beautiful. Okay, and obviously we're focusing on Kenya, so hopefully you've been listening throughout our guest discussions today. If not, just get creative, guys. Just get creative.
100%.
Ladies, are you ready?
There is no wrong answer.
Well, no, there's definitely a wrong answer. Dock you a point
We're
for
all
being so
winners.
silly. That was very not smooth. Okay. Who should I start with? Who should I start with this morning? I'm going to start with Kutla because she looks really nervous. All right, here we go. Your first question is this. I want you to name 3 smooth different languages that are spoken in Kenya.
Well, I know 2 for a fact, English and Swahili. Those are the official languages, and every other language is like within different tribes. That's just a fact.
It's about a 23-second answer, okay? I can't give you the point because I need 3. I don't know 3, so I was hoping you were gonna.
The country has 2 official languages.
For sure, but maybe French gets spoken there from time to time. because they have a rich-
I
They have
guess.
a
That's
rich
fair.
tourist industry.
That's fair.
But you don't get the point. Sorry, that golden monkey. Move the golden monkey a little bit closer to you. All right, let's see if he's going to stay there. Jamie Lee Domberg, name 3 smooth local Kenyan dishes.
Kenyan stew, Kenyan soup, Kenyan milkshake.
No.
You don't know. You don't know.
What is in the Kenyan milkshake? Jamie,
yeah.
if you don't mind
the
elaborating.
original milk from the soil.
You almost had it there. I can't give you the points. I can't because I don't know. I know about the Kenyan stew. We just made it. But the milkshake, I'm not sure. Okay. Name 3 smooth facts about Kenya.
Uhuru Kenyatta is the president. East Africa, Nairobi is the capital.
I'll give it to you. That was the 10. So
yes, she went to Kenya.
You should know all of these answers, man. Come on.
No.
All right, Jamie Lee Domberg.
Yes.
Name 3 not smooth things to do on a Kenyan safari.
Pick up men, talk to strangers, and feed the monkey. Yeah.
The monkey, the one monkey.
The one.
There's
one.
there's
There's always that
one
one.
monkey there.
There's always that one monkey trying his luck, eh? Don't feed him.
Yeah.
I think it'll be smooth to pick up men
I was
on a
about to
safari.
say.
Why not? What's wrong?
No, you don't. You don't
You're never
pick
going to
up
meet
on
anyone
the
if you're not willing to put yourself out there. Okay, come on.
I'll get that point definitely.
All right, so you get a point. You get a both of you get a point there. It's neck and neck. All right, cool. Name 3 not smooth animal sounds you do not want to hear in Kenya. What was the last one? Was that just a normal dog?
No.
Because being chased by a dog anywhere is not cool. So.
Exactly. So you don't want to hear a dog sound in Kenya because they don't know that word that we use in South Africa.
I'll give it to you. That was great. All right, Jerry.
Oh, you funny.
Name 3 not smooth things to do when you spot a cheetah in Kenya.
Call it, breathe, want to hug it.
What?
I'll have to give that to you, man. It took you a while to get the last one there, but
You don't want to hug it. You don't want to breathe around. You just want to be like.
you don't want to
Don't
breathe.
make eye contact. Yeah, don't breathe.
You don't want to breathe, but you want to hug it? And she gets the point?
No, you don't want to hug it. You don't want
wanna
to.
hug
Oh,
it.
you don't
Don't wanna
want
breathe.
to.
want to call
Okay, I
it.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
no,
give
that's
it to you.
a point.
Okay, you're doing well now. He's in the middle, right in the middle, in between the two of you. Okay, Koodles, name 3 smooth attractions in Kenya.
Mount Kenya, there's a spot where you can see Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. It's also the Nairobi National Park.
You took quite a wordy final answer there, but I'll give it to
5
you.
seconds
Also,
is ridiculous.
the second one, you said there's a spot that you can
Where you-
see. What is the name
So
of the
it's
spot?
the Mount Kilimanjaro spot.
The viewing spot.
Yeah.
The viewing
Oh.
point. We'll give it to you. And I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. All right, so this is to tie it,
Okay.
to share the golden monkey,
Okay.
which seldom happens. Name 3 not smooth things you do not want to hear from your tour guide in Kenya.
I've never been here before. Don't feed the monkeys and don't breathe here.
Yeah. I feel like the breathing thing is
And
yours.
the feeding the monkey.
I just have a breathing problem.
And the feeding the monkey.
I
Yeah.
think you are terrifying. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to call it a draw. I feel like you should have had an unfair advantage because you've actually been there.
No,
but-
it's fine.
Do you know what? I actually want to give it to you because you've been there.
It's International Women's Day.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Sharing it.
very that is smooth right there. The poor golden monkey doesn't know what to do with himself. Beautiful stuff. The winner is both of the ladies today in celebration of International Women's Day, and as summer comes, you know, obviously, and to an end soon, which is not smooth. I don't think you might want to soak up the last few summer sunshine days. Those rays are nothing smoother than a Tropica to do that while you are chillaxing. So whilst enjoying some of those smooth and not smooth pool moments, make sure you do it in style, ladies. You've earned the right.
I think definitely.
What's a smooth pool moment for you? Picking
This is
up
smooth
guys
when you just picking up guys.
around the pool. Where are you allowed to pick up guys? What's smooth? What's
At the library.
At the library.
At the mall.
At the mall. I wouldn't know because I'm still not picking up guys. Because the BSO keeps
That's not smooth.
killing it.
He's blocking. What are your smooth or not smooth moments around the pool? We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on our social media platforms. Share with us what your smooth moments are. And you can head over to all of our social media platforms and let us know. Keep us connected with your smooth and maybe funny, not smooth moments. Maybe post a picture or a video. You know, well done, ladies.
Cheers.
Very
Cheers.
good job. I feel like the golden monkey was the winner today.
Are you smooth or not smooth? Buy Tropica. Flip the cap. If you find smooth, you stand a chance to win smooth prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still locked in. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it's Tuesday, and we're choosing to entertain you, Mzansi. And we've got Lauren Lee and AJ. They're still in the building, about to deliver an epic performance. But before they do, let's find out what's happening with a recap in and around the world with our news.
Thanks very much, Riley. Let's start off here in South Africa, where Patrice Motsepe will become president of the Confederation of African Football, or CAF, later this week. This after the 5-year ban of Aman Ahmad from Madagascar was reduced to 2 years by the Court of Arbitration for Sports yesterday. The path for billionaire Motsepe, owner of Mamelodi Sundowns, to become the first South African to run CAF was cleared after 3 of his rivals withdrew their candidacies. His final obstacle was a potential comeback by recent CAF President Ahmad, but he had needed to entirely overturn his ban. In Cape Town, Cape Townians have been advised not to be alarmed by a full-volume nuclear siren test that will happen in Koeberg at the Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. They will be conducting that later today. The test of the nuclear power plant's public warning system will take place between 10 o'clock this morning and noon, and the sirens will be set off in Atlantis, Donnerfontein, Melkbosstrand, Van Riebeekstrand, Philadelphia, Blobergstrand, Blobergrant, West Beach, Sunningdale, Parklands, Robben Island, and the farms surrounding the Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. Residents have been urged to keep their pets indoors as the wailing sound may scare them. In international news, a Chinese-flagged fishing boat has run aground on a coral reef in Mauritius, about 10 kilometers from Port Louis. It has 130 tons of diesel and 5 tons of dressing oil on board. And as of now, the boat is not taking on water. There is no oil leak and a contingency plan has been devised. The incident comes 8 months after a Japanese bulk carrier leaked hundreds of tons of fuel oil off the Mauritius coast. It also ran aground on a coral reef. A panel of 20 experts began a debate yesterday into the cause of Argentine football icon Diego Maradona's death to determine if there was negligence on the part of healthcare professionals. Maradona, who was 60, died of a heart attack on the 25th of November, just weeks after undergoing brain surgery for a blood clot. They are looking into the health treatment he received prior to his death to determine whether or not to bring a case of wrongful death, which could result in a prison sentence of 15 years. And now news of women who serve on the front line against poachers. The 8 hand-picked members of the all-female game ranger team, known as the Team Lioness, are transforming the legacies of women and wildlife in Kenya and are buoyed by the progress that they are making for girls and women in the country. They serve on the front line against poachers in the traditional Maasai lands surrounding the Amboseli National Park in Kenya. In Maasai culture, women do not traditionally hold jobs, and these 8 rangers are true trailblazers, being the first women in their families to secure employment. The International Fund for Animal Welfare, that's the IFAW, was called on to fund an all-women team of rangers who represent their respective tribes. Maasai women hold much local conservation knowledge, and the training that they receive from the IFAW is specifically geared towards safeguarding the natural world. At the same time, however, they're also risking their lives. Each day holds the possibility of death, especially as poachers have become increasingly desperate due to the impact of COVID-19, which has drastically cut the income of parks, leaving surrounding communities impoverished. And last year, 138 rangers died in the line of duty around the world. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here is a final look at the world of sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tubbsy. Let's start with local cricket, and we were treated to an incredible performance yesterday by Carl Verreynne, hitting an impressive double century to guide the Cape Cobras to a massive 513 for 6. That was on the second day of their CSA 4-day domestic series against the Warriors at Newlands. The Warriors now trail the Cobras by 481 runs with 9 wickets still in hand. In other fixtures, the Knights lead the Titans by 44 runs with 4 wickets remaining, and the Lions trail the Dolphins by 101 runs with 3 wickets still in hand. And day 3 action will continue from 10 a.m. today. Also, rugby on the cards. Local rugby returns today with 2 second-round kickoff 2021 games. The Griquas, they welcome the Stormers to the Taft Lager Stadium in Kimberley. That one kicking off at 4:45. Michael Hasna, he returns to Kimberley on loan from the Stormers. And the Cape Town franchise, in fact, making 2 changes to their team that narrowly lost out to the Cheetahs in their first home game at the new Cape Town Stadium. Sergio Peterson, he replaces the injured Tristan Leitz, and Sitle Njazula, he'll start ahead of Edward van der Merwe. The second fixture will see the Pumas up against the Bulls. That's at 7 p.m. Springboks loose forward Nizam Kar will again lead the Bulls, who made no changes to their starting 15. That absolutely demolished the newcomers, the Elephants in Pretoria. And then finally onto football. Last night, only 1 game in the English Premier League, and a bed gone free own goal and a Jorginho penalty, sealing a 2-0 win for Chelsea against Everton, neck on neck on the standings at the moment. That was at Stamford Bridge last night. With only 10 league games left, Thomas Tuchel's side remaining in 4th place on the log, unbeaten under his tenure. In fact, now 4 points clear of 5th place to Everton. The English Premier League action will continue tomorrow evening with a full roster. That's a wrap of your sport for this Tuesday morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
thank you all to our viewers that have taken the time to share their sunrise images with us. We started off the morning with Material Kadi from Vanderbilt Park, showing the sky scattered with clouds. Deborah shared this golden image of the sun rising in Muizenberg. We then headed over to Delpert's Web, where Jason Sebastian shared the silhouetted morning. And last but not least, Louise G. Sherry shared this amazing view of the Johannesburg skyline. Thank you all to all our contributors this morning. We absolutely love seeing your stunning sunrise photos. Make sure to continue sharing the beautiful pictures with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We now head over to the US now to give a brief update to our viewers tuned in via YouTube and the Africa channel. Our last international city update this morning is for any viewer that is tuned in from Montpelier, the capital city of Vermont. Winters are known to be long, cold and snowy with short-lived springs and autumns and warm, humid summers. And today's weather will be considerably cloudy and breezy, peaking at only 3 degrees Celsius. We bring it back down with the final report in South Africa. Cape Town is expected to record its first proper rainfall of the year when a cold front hits tomorrow. The South African Weather Service has warned that the rain tomorrow may cause localized flooding of roads and informal settlements. The cold front will make landfall tonight, resulting in rainfall over the western parts that will spread along the south coast during tomorrow night. Ahead of the cold front, strong northwesterly winds are expected along the coastal strip, reaching 45 to 60 kilometers an hour. All city services and external agencies will be on standby to deal with the predicted adverse weather conditions. The bulk of the rain expected will be confined to the western parts, with falls of 20 to 40 millimeters and 50 millimeters over the mountainous regions. And here are your temperatures. If you find yourself at Polokwane, 19 is your low, reaching a high of 31. Momela, you peak at 34 degrees from a minimum of 20 degrees. Pretoria is a mostly sunny day with temperatures reaching a high of 31 degrees. Johannesburg, you kick off the morning with a low of 19, reaching a high of 29. Mahikeng, your temperatures range from a minimum of 17, reaching a maximum of 31 degrees. Klerksdorp, you start off with a minimum of 15, reaching a high of 31. Kimberley 13:34, Bloemfontein 9:31, and Richards Bay starts the day with rather warm conditions, 26 degrees, reaching a high of 32 degrees Celsius. It's a cloudy day in Pietermaritzburg with a low of 19, reaching a high of 31. Durban 22:27. Tata 14:28, Emondi, East London 18:24, and Craddock kicks off the day with a low of 13, reaching a high of 33, and Gqeberha starts the day with a minimum of 17, peaking at 24 degrees. George, your low is 17, peaking at 24 degrees. And Cape Town, do expect some rainy conditions as 56% chance of rain is forecast. Worcester, 16:24. Sutherland, 10:21. And last but not least, Appington, 13:31. This was the final look at your stunning sunrise photos and the weather forecast for the day. Whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather,
last hour of the show, but we are still connecting with you on our social media platforms. This morning we asked you what makes you proud to be South African, what makes you proud to be part of this beautiful country that we live in, and of course you guys came through with all of those comments, so let's check them out.
Yeah, let's check it out. So first up, we've got Trinity Nduduzo, who says, it's my culture. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now, I love the fact that I'm multilingual, well-talented, and ambitious. Trinity, you're all the good things that make South Africa great. I love it.
Be your own hype person. We have Elijah coming through saying, good morning, happy Tuesday morning. Anyway, what makes me proud to be South African? Simple, because I am South African. You are, because we are.
I love that. You know what? And I think that's a massive statement. Saying you're South African means more than just where I'm from. It means everything that these people are mentioning, everything in terms of the obstacles we overcome to become the magic that we are. I think that's what it means to be a South African. So big statement.
Can we get this man a book, please? That should be like a quote of the day.
Let's see what Francis McGregor has to say. It's seafood and more seafood, nom nom. And I'm sure that's speaking about the abundance that we have here in the country. Who's up next, Jamie?
Gail Hansen says, the fact that I'm born and bred here, and the braai, of course.
Oh,
how can we?
No one can.
Braai.
No, and what do they call overseas? Like a barbecue?
A barbie.
Shrimp on the barbie.
No, it's a braai.
And last but not least, Thomas Moshole is saying it's gotta be my culture. I think, of course, South Africa, a mixing, melting pot of beautiful culture, beautiful energy. And of course, speaking about energy, we've got the best energy coming at you right now, and you want to stick around for this.
I absolutely love the responses. In South Africa, salando man, vuva, yavakala emngqushweni. And also we do have talented individuals. Lauren Lee will be joined by fellow singer AJ to perform the 2014 pop hit Love Me Harder by Ariana Grande and The Weeknd. The song was featured on Ariana Grande's second studio album and peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Please welcome Lauren Lee and AJ. Woo woo!
Tell me something I need to know, then take my breath and never let it go. If you just let me invade your space, I'll take the pleasure, take it with the pain. And if in that moment I bite my lip, baby, in that moment you know this is something bigger than us and beyond bliss. Give me a reason to believe it, 'cause if you wanna keep me, you got to love me harder, love me harder. And if you really need me, you got to love me harder, love me harder. Ooh, love me, love me, love me, love me. Ooh, harder, harder, harder. I know your motives and you know mine. The ones that love me, I tend to leave behind. You know about me, choose to stay. Take this pleasure and take away the pain. 'Cause if in that moment you bite your lip, when I get you moaning, you know this is. Feel the pressure between your hips. I'll make you feel like the first time. 'Cause if you wanna give me, you got to love me harder, love me harder. And if you really need me, you got to love me harder, love me harder. Ooh, love me, love me, love me, love me. Ooh, harder, harder, harder. Ooh, love me, love me, love me, love me. Harder, harder, harder. So what do I do if I can't figure it out? You got to try again. No. What do I do if I can't figure it out, baby? I'm gonna leave again. 'Cause if you wanna keep me, you got to love me harder, love me harder. And if you really need me, you got to love me harder. And if you wanna kill me, you got to love me harder. And if you really need me, you got to love me harder, baby. Love you, love you, love you, baby. Much harder, harder, baby. Love you. Harder, harder, harder. How you can make my day.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Combine multiple loans into one with one affordable repayment. Get a Nedbank personal loan. Apply at nedbank.co.za/personal loans. Here's to you, Mzansi. Combine multiple loans into one with one affordable repayment. Get a Nedbank personal loan. Apply at nedbank.co.za/personal loans.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey there, welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live on SABC3. Thank you very much for joining us just in time for a bit of health chat. Now, according to statistics, South Africans consume almost double the World Health Organization's recommendation of 5 grams of salt per day. It's a lot of salt we consume here. And World Salt Awareness Week, taking place from the 8th to the 14th of March, aims to educate members of the public on the health risks that are associated with consuming too much salt. And clinical psychologist and CEO of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Professor Pamela Naidu, is here to share her expert knowledge on the dangers of salt and offers a few alternatives to salt in our diets. Welcome, Professor Pamela Naidu. So good to have you here this morning.
Thank you very much. Lovely to see all of you again.
So, World Salt Awareness Week.
Did not know that existed, and I'm so glad it did, because my family needs to listen to this, because every time I make food, they said, net 'n bietjie meer sout in die pot. But I think a lot of people often get confused between salt and sodium. Is there a difference? Is it the same thing? Maybe let's start there.
Right. So I think that without sort of going into too much detail, the chemical composition of salt is sodium chloride.
Okay.
So the sodium part of it is where the danger lies. So you it's almost a 40 to 60% percentage split of sodium and salt. So 40% sodium and 60% chloride. And so a rough estimate or a rough conversion for 5 grams of salt, a teaspoon of salt, in there you've got about 2 grams of sodium. And it's the sodium that is actually the
challenge here.
The challenge.
So when we look at Salt Awareness Week, I mean, it's very easy for people out there to think, salt is bad, oh no, and get into panic mode. But there are benefits to having, some benefits to having salt in our food or in using salt. Are there any benefits, I suppose?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a myth, if you ask me, because it's kind of like salt should be seen as some sort of a micronutrient as well, which is naturally found in foods.
Yeah.
So actually, take the salt shaker away. You absolutely don't need it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking, come on, a little bit of salt today keeps the doctor away. Clearly not so much.
Yeah, but you actually also adding a little salt in your cooking, right?
Yeah.
So that's adequate. You really don't need more than that.
Then what is it about the salt, or is it then the sodium that makes it so dangerous to consume on a daily?
Yes, so salt or sodium is known to increase your blood pressure. And you know that high blood pressure, which kind of is your systolic, so the top number is, it overshoots 140. It's really dangerous for you, because it can lead to all types of circulatory diseases, including heart disease and strokes. And so the salt actually pushes up your blood pressure.
Who is more at risk of, I suppose, suffering the outcomes, or not side effects, but the bad sort of results of too much salt intake on a daily? What type of person, what sort of underlying conditions might they have to present with challenges with consuming too much salt?
So I have bad news for you, because even in young people and children are known to be hypertensive or have high blood pressure. And what we're finding more and more with the whole process of urbanization, fast foods, cheap food, parents are actually not cooking those lovely meals that we used to have as young children. And so all these bought meals are actually pushing up their blood pressure. So it's actually putting children in danger as well. But if you look at South Africans, so let's just look at South Africa, we've got at least 45% of adults who are hypertensive. That's a huge number.
45%, Professor, is a huge percentage.
Yeah, and a large number is untapped, because we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we only know 45%.
Exactly.
Think about that. That is a lot on its own.
It's a lot of people.
Let's talk about long-term health effects or side effects of consuming too much salt in our diets or on a daily basis.
Oh, so the long-term, medium to long-term, it's more ill effect actually, because it's cumulative, and you one day you're going to fall down and have a stroke and you're going to die from it. because that's what can happen.
Well, you put it quite bluntly there, Professor. Wow.
Or you're going to suffer disability from a heart attack or a stroke, and that could be long term, you know. So the disability could actually be a hugely costly event for your family and for you if you're not adequately financially covered.
Wow, well, this is something to think about.
Yeah.
Professor Pamela Naidu joins us here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. This is, of course, in light of World Salt Awareness Week, which is the 8th to the 14th of March. It's all about knowing all of the dangers and risks that are associated with salt. We are consuming way too much of it. Eat less salt. The message is very clear, and that's what they're saying. Do you have any questions? Please do send them to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Remember to use the hashtag Expresso Show.
Okay, so a little bit earlier we had some fun in varying degrees of success putting each other through a latte art challenge, where I think some of us definitely did better than others. We asked you guys to vote for who you think had the best latte art, and you didn't disappoint. So let's find out who is going to win. Who here thinks they won? Jamie, you've now joined. How do you...
Between Jamie and I, we both agreed whoever walks away with the win, it's for the women out there.
Yes, it's a shared win.
Oh, now you've made me feel really,
All the
guilty.
women
What did you make?
independent, throw your hands up at me.
So what art did you create, Jamie? What was your
It was abstract.
Uh-huh.
It was between me and the viewers, we had that personal chemistry, and I just left it up to them for them to just explore the imagination.
I feel like that's
fair.
I think you've coasted to this whole show. So I did my child that turned out like an orangutan. The votes are in, and the winner, according to our most valued and incredible viewers, is... Yes, it is I.
What? The monkey?
It is I.
The monkey
It is
won.
I, because I actually had a picture.
I object.
No. He drew a butterfly that wasn't there, it flew away.
The fastest butterfly.
Fastest butterfly.
Oh, did you draw a
Abstract
butterfly?
art. My monkey won, and I'm
Gee,
really
you
proud.
came through with 40%.
Yeah, man, I
was
smashed
there
it.
just behind you.
Yo, the
35.
butterfly almost got you.
Hey, man, it is a
Ryan
fast.
15, Jamie 10.
So here's the thing, if you actually put Kutle and my percentage together, it would be 45%.
That's yours.
All the women
independent, throw your hands up at me. Everyone, shut up.
Thank you. I'm going to raise a glass to myself, but congratulations, guys. I suggest you give it a try. It's
Cheers.
harder than it looks.
It is.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. We are still continuing your health talk here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, this week we are commemorating World Salt Awareness Week. The 2021 theme for this campaign is more flavor, less salt. And of course, clinical psychologist and CEO of the Heart and Stroke Foundation, Professor Pamela Naidu, is still with us and will be telling us a bit more about the recommended daily salt intake and also how salt can be substituted in everyday home cooking. So good to have you back with us.
So, Professor, question, now that we're learning, how much salt should we be consuming daily? And what happens then if we consume too much salt to our bodies physically?
Right, yeah. So, as you said right at the beginning of this clip, you know, that the World Health Organization, all based on evidence, remember, whatever we recommend is always based on science.
Yes.
So we shouldn't be having more than, to make it understandable, let's not talk about the sodium, let's talk about salt.
Okay.
So the equivalent of 1 teaspoon a day in total.
In total?
Absolutely in total. So that you shouldn't exceed that. So if you feel perhaps your lunch had a bit extra salt, then you just need to make sure that the rest of your day. So yeah.
Cutting down.
You cut it, yeah. And then the effect on your body is that it can actually just pump up your blood pressure. So, yeah.
Which you don't want. You really are bringing the awareness into Awareness Week. I mean, all of these are things I didn't know.
I want to ask a silly question. Is there something as having too little salt in your body? So, for instance, if I lived a salt-free life, like ate chicken with no salt or nothing, is there effect that could have on my body, or would I just be...
I would say there won't be too much of an effect as long as you're eating a healthy meal, you know, or healthily throughout the day. However, if you are undernourished, then it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
You know, so you find people with eating disorders, for example, tend to cut out really important ingredients in their meals because they believe it's going, you know, it's going to make them huge or oversized or whatever. So that's a problem. Then, of course, the lack of salt is going to have an effect on your musculature and so on.
So now I'm thinking there probably are so many people watching this show right now who are having their breakfast, having their eggs, and have poured the salt into it. They've done a whole spread, or maybe last night for supper, who are thinking, wow, I've got all of this salt in me. How do I flush it out? Is there a way to flush it out? Or is that Tabiso thinking?
So you can't, well, technically you can, but you can't really flush it like, you know, that graphic image in my mind is I can drink 2 liters of water and I'm going to flush this out. No, but I think you can just control the rest of the day. Just ensure that you don't take too much salt for the rest of the day. And look, water is a really essential, you know, liquid that it does wonders. So don't replace it. Obviously, you do need nutrition, but water is an amazing way to detox the body. It really is. So, you know, perhaps not too much tea and coffee, because then you're tempted to add the sugar. And if you go sugarless, you're fine.
Okay, Josephine Pickstone, that was for you. Put that salt shaker away. And you, Daphne Nanili, I know you like your salt. Put that away. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about foods now. Which foods are loaded with salt, and which foods should we look out for that are hidden with salt in them?
Correct. So I think here's a simple rule. The more natural the food, the better for you. Okay. So for example, you know, we know nuts and legumes are good for us, but nuts, get the unsalted variety. Okay? Because the moment you have the salted nuts, it means that they've had to coat the nut to absorb the salt onto the skin. And so then that adds your salt to it. The other kind of simple rules, any processed food is going to have way too much salt. Okay? Certain types of dairy also, you know, like your yellow cheeses and so on, has a lot of salt in it. Processed foods like sausages.
Wow.
You know, because the point is that food manufacturers will develop products that's going to make it tasty. But we're so, it's almost like a bit of a flock mentality, because you think, oh, no, for taste, you've got to have the salt. When actually, you can retrain your taste buds. And so try cooking at home and doing what we're talking about. And very soon you won't be able to tolerate extra salt.
And this is a good, I think, a good habit to get into for people out there, to look at reducing the amount of salt that they're consuming, to see how easily over time they're able to get into new ways of doing things. But of course, people are looking for flavor, and we can't escape the fact that you know, we want to add that flavor and that salt taste. What are some of the alternatives or substitutes to salt that people can use?
So your age-old spices, you know, that's amazing. It's got so many health benefits, from cinnamon to turmeric, you know, to cardamom, all of that stuff. Even capsicum or chili, like you make a curry with curry powder.
Yes.
Now, that chili is actually really good for you.
Yeah.
So there's spices.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously herbs. You
Yes.
can use any amount of herb that you want.
And they can be really great.
And they're great. Because it's quite tasty. I mean,
Yes.
you know, it's like a wine pairing. You can have a herb pairing, you know. So if you're making lamb, you're going to have rosemary.
That is smart.
Yeah.
You're gonna, you know, like that. So you get to learn what goes with what. If you have fish, you can use dill, that kind of thing. And then, of course, lemon is also an age-old, lemon and lime. So in the East, you know, Vietnamese cooking, they use a lot of lime. It's very tasty with lemongrass, so you learn to flavor.
Well, you
And
should
then-
do a cooking segment with us, Professor.
Definitely.
We should
But
get
that's
you in the
why
kitchen.
you also need to go on our website at
Yeah.
the Heart and Stroke Foundation South Africa. We've got 4 recipe books that you can access.
Which you've brought along.
Which I brought along, the last one. And so, but you get loads of ideas from there.
This is really fantastic.
Definitely. We also have 2 social media comments that came through for you.
Sure.
One is from Norma Parker. She's saying, good morning, my blood was very low, but I love potato crisps. Is it harmful? Maybe you can answer that.
It's very harmful. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry to disappoint, but you've got the oil, which is the trans fat, which we do not recommend either. In some countries in the world are banning trans fats.
Oh.
And then you've got the salts on top of that.
So there are 2 things
Stay
there.
away, stay away.
Well, the next one's from Lynn Trutter, who says, there's days where I have a pinch of salt on my tongue. Believe it, I believe it's good for cramps in your body. Is
Oh,
it
yes.
Because I've heard that. My grandmother also believes
Yes,
that.
I was just about to tell you that now. Back in the day, growing up, so if you had a cramp in your leg, they said put a little salt under your tongue and it would take the cramps away. Please debunk this. Is it true?
I wouldn't say it's totally untrue. I think also for low blood pressure they recommend it. So you've got the high blood pressure, and then if you have low blood pressure, that also leads to cramping, lack of energy, and so on. You know, you feel nauseous, you want to lie down, and so on. So I think that life is not simple, right? This is now a complex question. Because if you've had a stressful day, you haven't eaten well, and you end up feeling the way you've over-exercised, and you've been inadequate in hydrating. All of those things, because the body's like a really great car, right? So you're going to have the indicator or the dashboard light go on if something is lacking, or if it's in excess. So then you're going to have to take heed. And so, a little bit of salt on those days, it's not going to harm.
Well, I suppose, and I mean, I'm not a doctor, as you very well know, but I think just based on the information we've just gotten from the Professor, Lynn Trutter, I would say as long as the salt you're putting under your tongue or on your tongue during that day is not more than the recommended intake for that particular day, then I think you might still be fine. And if it is around there, then it should be the only amount of salt that you have. But Professor, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Professor Pamela Naidu is the CEO of the Heart and Stroke Foundation here in South Africa. They've done this incredible cookbook that's going to help us really look after ourselves and look after our hearts. It's called Cooking from the Heart, and you can get it on their website. Their website is cookingfromtheheart.co.za. But also you can look at ichangeforhealth.co.za to get information on how you can better look after your health. Lots of interesting recipes in here. And hopefully one day, Dr. Pamela, when we look at health, we can have you in the kitchen showing us how to substitute, right?
Be more than happy to. I always say to people, I practice what I preach.
I love that.
So I'm going to show you.
I love it.
This morning has just been a musical treat. I see you taking pictures because you want to capture this moment. Can we just please give it up for Lauren Lee and her band? Stunning. Please take more pictures and post and tag us on social media. Oh man, artist Lauren Lee and her band have been doing incredible things this morning. It's always a pleasure to have such musically gifted artists in the studio with us. Now Lauren Lee standing by to perform the soulful track Can We Talk by American singer and songwriter Tevin Campbell. Since its release in 1993, this song has become an R&B classic and has been covered by many artists from all over the globe. And now it's time for our very own Lauren Lee.
shy, but you weren't the only place, so was I. And I dreamed of you ever since. Now I build up my confidence. Come next time you come my way, I know what I'll say then. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. I started to write you letters, but I wanted to be more clearer, and I wanted to get down and sweet talk you, yeah, baby. And just like a baby, I could not talk, and I tried to come close, but I could not walk. And I dreamed of you ever since, and now I just could not get it right. Oh, if we ever come close again, I know what I'll say then. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Girl, one more chance with you again. I will not let it go, babe. Please give me one more chance for love, 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 love. Yeah, for a minute, girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Yeah. Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on and talk to me, baby. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know your name. Come on to me, baby. Come on and talk to me, baby. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know your name. For a minute, girl, I want to know your name. And can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name.
Yes, when I tell you everyone in studio was bopping along to this classic, Lauren Lee, the band, you have done wonders for us this morning. Congratulations. Where can we get in touch with you?
You can find me on social media, on Instagram as Lauren Lee, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere.
Make sure to hit her up on her socials everywhere and keep it locked right here on your Feel Good break for sure, because the feel goodness continues after this.
Only you can make my day.
So much deliciousness. Now we all love plain double thick yogurts. In fact, that's what I give my little ones. From adding tang to curries to thickening soups, or maybe making some quick frozen lollies. There's just no end to yogurt's usefulness and deliciousness in the kitchen. So we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with some yogurt hacks. Chef Clem is here. We've both been snacking on our croutons, which are my favorite things.
These are so delicious,
They are
honestly.
so nice. So the garlic and herb ones also amazing. But the star of the show, our double. I mean, I give this to my kids.
Yeah.
It is a staple in my fridge. We're going to have a little bit of fun with it this morning.
Sure
So what hacks have you got for us today?
Let's talk
Brad?
about the first one that's in front of you. Yogurt is so amazing. We know how versatile it is, but it literally does cross like from sweet, delicious treats all the way to savory. It's just amazing. Those are so simple. Seasonal berries or seasonal fruit, whatever you have in the fridge, blitz it up with some yogurt.
Berries
little
work really
popsicle.
well with the yogurt flavor profile.
Little stick in there, and everyone's happy. I mean, there's not much I can actually say about it. It's so easy, but it's so satisfying and so delicious. That's a super easy one. I saw someone on set walking around with one.
Yeah.
And I don't know
I've seen a few.
Who's been
started around.
snacking?
Been snacking on our lollies. What I love here, you're getting your cultures,
Yeah,
you're getting your
absolutely.
calcium, really healthy, beautiful stuff.
And Woolies really is your dairy destination. I mean, the selection of yogurts and the cheeses and milks, I mean, it's so amazing. But the yogurts are so rich and decadent. It's a dessert on its own. Have you had the lemon curd yogurt?
Yes, I have. Hey, get out.
It's
yeah.
If you haven't had it yet, at 9 o'clock when the show ends, just go to the shop and go and get it. You will not be disappointed. It's so good. Okay, next one. You can do this one for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
In the capsule, I've got some parsley, some basil. We're gonna make
fresh herbs.
It's super fresh. We're gonna make a green goddess sauce using yogurt. So, I mean, you can step into this massive kitchen, Graham. You can come right in.
Chef Clem,
I can hear you. Okay. Spoon a little bit of yogurt in there. People will be like, that's so cheesy. That's fine. It's okay. Lemon juice can go in after your yogurt.
Look how thick that. Oh,
it's
thick. How much yogurt?
A little more. So a green goddess dressing is normally, it's anything green. Normally avocado can go in there. That's perfect. But the thing about yogurt is, sometimes we squeeze a bit of lemon over our food. There's a little bit of acid that elevates the dish. In this case, the yogurt's going to do that. Plus, it makes it creamy and it makes it thick. I'm going to borrow your spoon.
Okay, yeah.
We've all sanitized.
Take it.
Okay, go.
Okay.
A little bit of lemon juice. Just a little bit.
Just for an extra. That's up.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a little bit of salt. Look at this working together. There we go. I love it. Okay, you can give that a good blitz. It's a great way to transform a normal salad into like something amazing. Or veggies. It really works. We've got some roasted butternut and some onions here. It's going to elevate it so much. Okay, you good?
I think
Why am I stepping back? Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. Made me nervous there.
Little tip at home when this happens, because the yogurt is so thick.
Exactly.
You add a little bit of water. I'm going to meet you over here. You add a little touch of water?
I think I will need just a drop. Oh, no, there we go.
Okay, you don't even need the water. Look at you.
Dun, dun, dun. Tell me when.
Perfect. And that vibrant green color is so amazing. That can go a little drizzle over your veggies.
That just pops, eh? Beautiful.
It is so delicious, right? So, next one, we're gonna make another curry. So they work really well with curries because it helps thicken the curry, makes it creamy, a little bit of that tang.
Ooh.
It's good, right? It's just the fresh herbs come through.
And the fresh herbs come to life. Can I put a little bit on here?
You can. And that twang of the yogurt is perfect for these dressings. Because every dressing needs a little bit of acidity, and that's where you're gonna get it.
Oh, yeah. No,
all right.
Beautiful. And it's gonna cut through the sweetness of our butternut or pumpkin or whatever you've got in there. But that's so fresh.
It is. It's so good. Before I do the curry, let's talk about the soup. So soups are all great on their own, right? But it's the way you finish them that like really make them special. And we're almost at soup season, guys. This one's a great one.
Don't say it, man. Don't say it.
I know. I was actually loving summer, but the one thing I love about winter is winter food. So it's fine. I'm happy. Okay. Beautiful kale and pea soup. A little bit of the yogurt goes on. And again, that little bit of yogurt just cuts through the soup so much.
How are you even quenelling that's how thick this yogurt is that you can actually quenelle it.
I'm going to make 3 because now you said it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, a little bit of the quenelle. You can just hold this.
Is that even a word, quenelling?
Quenelling, yeah, it's a word, it's a word. Some fresh peas go over the top. You can use petit pois. You can use normal peas.
That's nice. It adds a bit of texture to your soup, which is quite funky, yeah.
Kids love peas. I love peas. Like, peas are just amazing. A little bit of baby pea shoots.
I end up eating a lot of peas because Jack doesn't like peas.
He doesn't? Okay.
So he always separates the peas, but so I end up eating the peas while he eats the rest.
And those delicious
you've got to have
croutons.
some crunch. Oh,
The ratio of crouton is serious. Okay, there we go. That's an amazing one. Last
that
one.
looks beautiful.
A curry. Heat on. I've taken the leftover roast vegetables.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a little simple curry. So
Which veggies have you used there?
the red onion and butternut going in. A little bit of chickpea.
Cool.
Nice little veggie curry. And we're gonna give it a little bit of a Moroccan twist. We're gonna add some of our tagine paste to it.
Ooh.
Once that's simmering off nicely. The tagine paste, by the way, this is so good. This just stirred through yogurt as a dip is magical.
Sneaky.
So it's gonna be our little hack for a quick curry.
Is there any way I can have a little taste of that paste? Just to...
For sure. I just conveniently have a teaspoon here.
you see, look at you. Must have been.
It is deep, it is delicious. The spices in there, it is so aromatic. It's good, eh?
Wow, that's a punch in the nose, eh?
It is amazing. I used this to make nacho sauce the other night. A little bit of cross-culture cuisine there, but it was so delicious.
Well, I can understand how that would lend itself to a nacho.
Okay, there we go. In with the tagine paste. All of it actually.
That's delicious, eh?
It's magical. And the thing about these is, I feel like people miss out because they like leave that last little bit in there, add a little bit of water, and give it a mix, really clean out.
Then you clean out your jar, and the nice thing is then your jar is nice and clean to be recycled.
There we go, that's in. Give it a good mix. It smells so amazing, and this really is a dinner that you can make on the fly at the end of a very long day. This one comes together so well, and it's so satisfying.
And it's actually nice that you've pre-roasted the butternut. Like when I make baby food, for instance, like when you roast that butternut or a pumpkin, it gets a lovely sweet flavor profile. So doing that before you put it in the curry, I think that's a brilliant idea.
And when you do roast vegetables at home, like I always say, roast more than what you need because the rest goes into the fridge, and you find so many uses for it throughout the week, like this curry.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Oh
Let's give it
man,
a
you
good
can
mix.
find all of these yogurt hacks and your yogurt hats, because he wears many hats in the kitchen, at woolworths.co.za.
So without adding cream, just adding the yogurt, it's become so thick and so creamy. We're gonna let it cook for another 5 minutes. It's gonna reduce. It literally becomes such a decadent vegetarian curry.
Oh, and flavor full.
I've intentionally just left the coriander out for you today because I know.
Yeah, because.
But this is so delicious. It's so good. That over a bowl of sticky rice. That's how you do.
Can you pass the plate
you want
down so I can have a little taste? Do you have one more tasting spoon? I've been using all of your utensils this morning.
No, it's fine. You're good. There's a whole fork for you. I'm gonna try some of the soup.
Oh, that looks absolutely amazing. Okay, if you missed any of the steps in our beautiful yogurt hack with this wonderful vegetable curry, take a look at this. It is time. It is a Tuesday, which means only one thing, and it is time for our Tuesday karaoke. This one, we want to laugh about it because it's quite a daunting prospect today, but we had to actually do this one. Amanda Kleinschmidt sent through a beautiful dedication out of all of the songs that were presented by you guys at home. This one stood out because she had intended to sing this song for her mother for her 60th, but unfortunately she lost her mother tragically at the age of just 57. Very quickly she passed in 2010. And it is none other than Celine Dion, Because You Love Me, which is probably the most difficult song on earth to sing. But Amanda, because we love you and we appreciate you, and we are one to rise for a challenge, we are going to give it a go. And we apologize in advance.
So, gentlemen, you can't start too low. This is a Celine Dion song.
Well, let's just apologize first then.
We're going to just go in our lane and we're going to try and figure this out.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right,
Nice mic technique.
for every dream you made come true,
For all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. My strength when I was weak, you were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. You raised me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe everything I am because you love me. Nice, wow, nice, man. You gave me wings and made me fly. You touched my hand, I could touch the sky. I lost my faith, you gave it back to me. You said no star was out of reach. You stood by me and I stood tall. I had your love, I had it all. I'm grateful for each day you gave me. I don't know that much, but I know this much is true.
Yeah, here we go. We're back.
I was blessed because I was loved by you. My strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. You lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe I'm everything I am because you love me. You were always there. Nice. Tender wind that carried me. Light in the dark, shining your love into my life. You've been my inspiration. Through the lies, you were the truth. My world is a better place because of you.
Wow.
Is there any redeeming yourself after that?
I don't think so, man. I've got tears in my eyes. From my own
I've got a
voice.
pain in my heart.
I've got a pain in my heart.
No animals were harmed during the making of that karaoke.
Oh,
the cats
my
are
goodness.
okay. It was us.
Amanda, thank you so much for that suggestion this morning. Please, I would love to hear you sing the song with your voice. If you can actually sing, we'd love to hear you sing that. That was the most this morning. Zoe, thank you for being on the mic today, for leading that performance. It was beautiful. Thank you for hitting all the high notes this morning. That was our Tuesday karaoke. So would you like to choose the next song that we are going to be singing? Please don't make it a Celine Dion song.
Don't make it a difficult song. Just make it a karaoke classic. Bring us some rustic. Bring us some
10,000
All
miles.
for
Come on,
one.
man. But that was really enjoyable, and I hope you appreciate that we were willing to put ourselves through that just for you.
Awful.
Wow. How can you say that?
I was going to do it softly. I was going to, you know, just like let it ease into it and say, you know what, that was not the worst thing I've ever seen him done before.
Come here, guys. You need to
Well
explain
done,
it.
man.
Honestly,
You did a great job. Woo, woo.
you're not going to Sun City. You're not getting golden
Use
tickets.
the word awful, Dubs.
How do you feel after that?
I feel like a new man. I feel liberated.
That's good.
I feel like I got to fly. It was amazing.
How do you feel after that, Kuthe? How do you feel, Jamie?
It actually hurt my internal...
Empowered.
Empowered to do what?
Empowered to never miss a day or never do that without you guys.
How do you feel?
You're going to take part...
You know what? I feel proud actually because I feel like G and I were allowing Mzansi and the rest of the world to purely emancipate their own voice.
Okay.
We set the bar so low that we make everybody out there find
No,
themselves.
never shy away from vulnerability, okay? Never shy away from your vulnerability. Sometimes you just got to open up. But you can't pass comment unless you
Can I just say one thing? Celine Dion, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. My favorite
I'm not
part of that
concerned
was
about
when we
Celine
went-
Dion. I'm just concerned that tomorrow we'll have no viewers.
No. My favorite part was when we cut to Celine Dion's face singing with our voices in the background.
We love you. We love you. But you are not to do that to us ever again, please. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow is the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Sing, sing, sing.
Oh, you don't want to miss it. We'll see you in the morning. We love you. Mwah.
We are everything because of you.
Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheers, brother. Take care.
So I think.
Megan tell you how long we played in this?
Yes, and I was still gonna phone you, like, when she was supposed to be, I was still gonna phone you to be like, bruh.
I feel like I had a lot of energy.
Yeah, but that's good. And then I was going to come through, but I had meetings the whole day. And then literally at about past 7, I think you left past 7 or 8ish. And then they were like, no.
I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah.
Can we talk?
But I'm glad that you were there. I'm sorry. Must I cook this in my hands? Must I cook this with my warm personality? Must I cook this with my... I'm just joking.
Didn't you have a pot here?
Come.
Oh, it was, oh my gosh. Come, like so she
What?
Still
Boss.
Did you see the microwave? I asked Brad yesterday. I told Brad, like, did you see what was in the oven microwave? Yes, that's right. That was almost Lena's life.
That was almost Lena's life.
And my life, sir.
And your life.
But you always see me when I'm...
What's the problem here?
Muniba, I need to shoot, eh? You're making me nervous.
Why?
I called you Muniba. Aniba. Why? Because there's a Muniba that I know now. Who's Muniba that I know? And she had a baby. Oh, from the media.
Oh.
Aniba, I need to shoot. I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Because I'm shooting. I'm filming now at For Kitchen Craft.
Oh. Wow.
Filming Kitchen Craft, the coffee cake.
You'll be fine, man. Don't say it. No.
I do need a Daxel. Last night, I get home at 6:30 and I thought out minced lamb pieces. Guess what Megan says she feels like for dinner? Tomato brie. We get home at 6:30. She wants tomato brie.
Guys, you have to make it. 9 o'clock.
We had a long day though, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make it for you. We ate about 8:30, 9:15. But it was lekker. And then I didn't cook rice, so I had garlic bread, the Wood's garlic bread, so I put it in the air fryer.
So what can I dish up?
It was good. So I'm looking at your big pot and the cabbage food.
I love this.
That other dish that I made with the rice last week, you must really make it. It's really good.
Yes, with all the chicken, one pot wonder.
It brings all the boys to the yard.
I want to.
It's so good.
We are out of grabber, right? Thank you, Erati. Erotica.
Your wingman.
Ooh, this reminds me of...
For life.
Winters.
For sure. For life.
When I'm back on the market.
Yes. But don't say that you're just...
I know.
I spoke to Megan. Spoke to Megan on Sunday because we went for a drive to... Like a drive that her gran used to like Please don't be long. I've got to go. Gotta go.
I'm ready. I said to them.
Okay, go eat your food.
No, I can eat here.
And then I was saying, because the weather was nice and overcast, so I said today is the day that, like, when we moved to our new house, that I literally phone everyone and be like, hey guys, come over for curry day. I'm gonna make curry. I'm gonna put it on the table. And then I was saying, and you must always plan. If someone says, what must I bring? You mustn't just like say one thing. Everybody comes with the same thing. So we're talking. She was like, okay, cool. Who's at your imaginary lunch? I was like,
oh, who's at it, yeah?
Yeah, so I was like, Lena, and so and so, and so and so. And then she was like, okay, Lena can bring so and so and so and so. So I'm putting in her mind, like Lena's there. But she does know. I think also told her, that one's very what? She gets very intimidated. Like, I don't want her to watch the thing that I filmed on Friday. A thing with Via. What? Minky and I have always had an amazing relationship. And Minky was like, very like, in love. Like it was our 10-year anniversary because it's been...
Already put a ring on the governor.
Yeah. But Minky was her.
How are you?
Yeah. Oh, man. You know...
Get better.
Jou prentjies hier van die naweek. Ek wil dit hier oor WhatsApp gestuur.
Well, no, I'm actually about to do the cooking now. Pre-record.
Jy asseblief jou e-drop aansit. Ja?
Ja, ek doen nie snaakse goed nie. Ek maak net my broek vas.
Brian, I know that the economy is tough, but to steal the forks, I mean, come on. Come on. And I know you're taking them to the scrap metal place, but you're not going to make...
Grace.
Who's doing the hot
Yeah. Yes.
Sabiso.
I'm ready. When you guys are ready, let me know.
Scrap for scrap, so...
Dang.
Looking good.
Patsy. How are you? It's very nice to meet you.
Wena? Hayi bo Brian uyangisukela ngithe ngidayethanda mina.
Golden here.
Ngangidayetha kudala 2 years ago.
Looks pretty damn crazy.
Oh, this is our producer.
Patsy, you're from Wilmington. Are you from